All right, episode 3 of this unnamed weekly wrap-up summarizing the week that was in the Dumb Zone. Only 3 episodes to catch you up on this week. Hope everyone had a fun July 4th and didn't blow off any fingers, but if you did, please email us the story and pictures, thedumbzone@gmail.com. Also, was passed this message before taping. Send all moosing videos and pictures to dan@nopuppetproductions.com. Don't know what that means, but he was adamant I read it, okay? Like always, this will be built like a normal show, open at the top, today in history at the bottom, news, viewer mail, today in Twitter in between, with some William Pace, Cowboys, and an MBR to round us out. Not much to report on the show coming up, couple 690 sit-ins next week, as well as a couple remotes. One of the dynamic duo will be doing a TV thing in a couple weeks, and I'm fairly certain we'll be joined by a Dallas Cowboy in our new studios soon, but I'll wait until that's final before spilling the beans on that. But for now, let's rewind to our Monday, July 1st show at the VFW in Grapevine. It was a really cool scene we had out there. Had a free lunch for first responders and saw a few veterans trickle in and out of there, which was funny considering what Dan's complaint was that day. Here is our open and weekend check from July 1st.
Hey, happy Monday, guys.
Hey, you too, man.
I'm Dan McDowell.
I'm Jake Kemp.
I'm Blake Jones.
And today we're out live on location in Grapevine. How about a Grapevine remote?
How about it?
How about more Grapevine remotes? Blake might disagree.
I mean, it's either driving to your house or over here. It's not a big
Yeah,
deal.
this is a little closer, right?
Yeah.
Got to go up and see historic Main Street,
I drove past the 9/11 Memorial.
the Christmas capital of the world. That's right, we are very close to the 9/11 Memorial.
Main Street's cool. It's especially cool if you have kids.
Yeah, it's probably cool either way because you got your olds there doing some antiquing.
Got a biker bar. My parents have a business there, so I can always kind of park for free. I guess you can park for free a lot of places down there.
I believe
think it was a William D. Tate.
Mayor William D.
Yeah.
Tate decreed that
Yeah.
as long as he is mayor, and that seems to be forever,
Yeah.
there will never be metered parking on Main Street in Grapevine. He wants to keep that small town feel. He thinks that's more important than a couple of dollars, and I applaud him for that.
He also disabled the red light cameras.
He did.
So the guy's just a hero, honestly.
That's why he runs unopposed. I think he's been, maybe with one brief break, the mayor since like 1988.
Right. And there's a street named after him.
Yeah. I want that.
Not since Mayor Maine had a street named after them. We're in a unique location today. Have we ever broadcast from a VFW post before?
Not to my knowledge, no. No.
And we are here at the behest of a good subscriber, Mike Patterson. Are we having him on the show at some point today?
Yeah, we need to.
Is he closing remarks, or is he joining us in the beginning? Anyway, what do we got going here today? There seems to be some kind of a special event. Is anyone familiar?
Yeah, but it won't really matter because we're not live. I mean,
that's
if
true.
you're not
Yeah,
here
we can't
now,
promote.
it won't really help you. But yes, they are.
Should I have promoted this on Twitter?
I think we did.
We did.
Should I have, though?
Oh, what?
Maybe.
The guy with the big account?
With my huge reach.
No, Mike made a really awesome graphic for us.
The rest of your little minions, we all promoted. But they have free lunch for veterans and all first responders. And that doesn't mean like I call you and you answer the first time. You have to actually be someone who would respond to a situation.
Okay, because generally on the show, I
Fire
might be
medical.
the first responder. If we send out a text, hey, can everybody do tomorrow at 4? I would be the first responder.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough for us to deny, yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to think of something, but that's why the one time you didn't call us back, I thought you were dead. It was like a Sunday night. I'm like, holy shit, is Dan okay? But yeah, free lunch. And they got you your own special little...
Yeah.
Your own special little fish.
I guess
one.
Mike got some eatsies. In fact, maybe even contacted Adam Romo himself.
The big man.
to hook me up with some Eatsy's Market and Bakery, which is fantastic.
Dan has his own rider.
Yeah.
I think there probably wouldn't even be a rider without me.
Yeah, your section is definitely the biggest.
Yeah.
I scooted down so I could be closer to you, actually.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Preach.
Yeah, but I've never been inside one of these before. My brother goes to the one in New Orleans quite a bit.
Oh, I absolutely have been inside.
Yeah, Kristen was telling me that she used to go with her grandfather all the time.
I guess I remember going in, Southern Ohio, small towns.
Yeah.
Just because there'd be meetings there and stuff and drinking,
Yeah, my brother goes and meets up with buddies at the one down there all the time.
smoking.
Yeah, what happened there? I thought we could still smoke. Oh, you can. Okay, you're just... I was going to say. Come on.
So is this the one public place that the government has not touched as far as not allowing smoking?
I am pretty sure that if you go... I was going to say, there's 2 places on Main still. I think Tap In too, right? They did close... Oh, it's for good?
So is that part of William B. Tate? It's like no red light cameras, no pay for parking, and smoking as
If
much
you
as
want to do
want.
it, you can do it.
Yeah.
Will Hoyt's, yeah. The biker bar. Sometimes.
Well, anyway, it's cool to be here.
It is. It's very cool.
We will talk to Mike at some point. It's the perfect new you start day.
Yeah,
You guys familiar with this?
Yeah, of course I am. I got my hair cut. I ran this morning. I'm like, cut the shit.
You know what? I took a little walk.
We're halfway through the year. There's still there's still time to salvage this thing.
I wanted to get me 3,000 steps before I did the show today, and I did.
Yeah, I made a little breakfast, a little healthy.
So it's the first day of the month, which is also on the first day of the week. Because often you want to time up. I'll start my diet, or I'll start the new thing. I'll wait till the first of the month. I can binge until then. But then, if the first of the month is like on a Thursday, you're like, you know what? I'll wait till next month. Yeah.
Probably order a pizza and get a pitcher.
You have to do it like on a Monday. And here it is. Monday, it's the first of the month. And this is very rare. There's no way to tell how rare, but it's also the first day of the second half of the year.
I think this is cooler than the eclipse.
Yeah.
It could be more rare.
I can tell you this.
It probably is more rare.
I can tell you this. The eclipse didn't make me want to cut out carbs and do chest.
No.
Right.
Did the eclipse make you get out and walk?
You'll
No.
see Halley's Comet again before you see a day like this.
You guys, dude, by the end of the year, you'll remember this day. I'm walking shredded.
Yeah, and today on the program, the MBR, the monthly business review, because we're all about business.
You got a fan.
One.
One.
One fan.
One's more than none.
We will review that business.
Uh-huh.
Blake is at the helm of that. It's a free program, so welcome.
Check us out at patreon.com/thedumbzone if you like what you hear.
That's right.
You probably just heard that from Dan in the open.
You did. And he wants us to be more involved in that.
I know. We'll get
Yeah,
there.
we should all record our voices, not just me.
But I also think it's
I'm just
funny
a bad pitch man.
you and I are just stalling. Yeah, we'll get to it.
Is that what's going on here behind the
Shut
scenes?
up.
All right.
So many little two-man games running.
I'll do it this week. I got you.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, Jake left early. I guess we'll just do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, we're on remote.
You do keep pushing it ahead. Tomorrow we'll be in our studio. We'll have William Pace on the show.
That is right.
So excited.
And introducing to William Pace will be Mike, right? Is that confirmed? It's confirmed as much as Mike Rhyner can be confirmed.
I did retext with him this weekend. He said he remembered, and he said he will be there tomorrow. Mike Rhyner and Julie Dobbs.
And William Pace. What a powerhouse.
I didn't retouch base with her. I just figured she'd be there anyway.
What she got?
Golf
That's the
camp.
thing. Yeah, she has 0. We just have to keep her off the sauce long enough to
Good luck.
do a show. And on today's show, we, of course, have plenty of sports for you. Apparently, we got some Cowboys stuff heating up and the start of NBA free agency. But we would like to start everything with a weekend check. So you see what everybody did over the weekend. Now, you are mandated to have information for a weekend check. You can't just walk in and say, oh,
Oh, really?
Yeah. You have to do something.
Okay.
So every weekend you have to do something.
And then we'll judge whether it was interesting or not.
Well, Saturday we started Brooks in gymnastics.
Hell yeah.
I want to get some coordination down. And I think that the key with any sport or really just being outside, he's got to learn how to fall. You got to protect your noggin. So started him on that.
That's pretty sweet.
And
Did you get him a Barbie, too?
no, his leotard was blue. It was a nice boyish color of blue, I thought.
Did you guys watch, like, Queer Eye for the Straight Guy afterward?
Start him on the hormones or estrogen or whatever the...
Greg Abbott's never gonna let him compete if you keep this up.
No, but it was cool watching him follow directions from someone else. They do a lot.
They do that well.
What is he right now?
2.5.
2.5, yeah. That's about when we started doing something where someone else could tell him what to do.
Yeah. It's a lot of can you do two things at one time? Can you jump while waving your arms? But the big thing I noticed, and Jake, I think you'll back me up on this, I noticed he has a 7-minute attention span.
If I get to 7, I'm thanking the gods old and new.
Because of Bluey.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That show is 7 minutes long?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so he can follow directions and do pretty well, 6.5 minutes, and then
that makes sense.
he wanders. And I think it's just this generation of, a quick YouTube video or whatever this is, or the Bluey. Like, they can focus for about 5 minutes at a time.
Yeah, we tried watching a new, it's not Pixar, but a new, kid movie on Friday night, and I would say she goes like 7 minutes in a movie, 20 minutes just kind of dicking around.
Yeah.
7 minutes if we get her back if something interesting happens, but it's never a sustained, I'm into the whole movie.
No, they
never.
The class is about 30 minutes with 15 or 20 of free play, and by the end of the 30 minutes, he's done.
Yeah.
So it's just can't really focus.
That's cool though.
And then we went to a birthday party, and I'm here to report back that Capri Sun is not what it used to be.
You mean when they started putting booze in it?
What?
They have like booze Capri Sun things now.
Why?
I don't know if they make them, but they come in a pouch that looks exactly like Capri Sun. It gives you the straw so you get the nostalgia feel, but it's like a spiked seltzer.
Wow.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. No, I just had the normal kids Capri Sun, and it did not taste very good.
Do you think it tastes exactly the same, but you're now you?
Well, that's I don't know.
No,
it tastes
everything
like,
sucks more now.
It tastes like fake sugar.
Yeah. Well, you think they were using like real cane before?
Well, they were using something better than they are now.
It's Capri Sun.
It used to be good.
I don't know. I have noticed that the kids are drinking the Capri Sun though.
And then had a squared away Sunday. Laundry done, car washed, car filled up, house
yeah.
cleaned.
That's good to do right before the first of the month.
Yeah,
No,
especially when the first of the month. It's a Monday.
I shaved my neck, showered.
Did you go? You didn't go.
That's a once a month thing now.
You didn't go in, did you?
The haircut?
Yeah.
No,
Okay. We need to talk later.
I did not. I shaved my my own head.
I don't want to give away too many details, but we may find ourselves in a very similar situation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, they've got some good people over there.
They have some good people.
Right here on Main Street. You could probably walk to the... I've parked here at the VFW numerous times for Main Street Days or Grape Fest or whatever. This is a very popular place to park and walk.
I didn't do a ton over the weekend other than I will tell you about a birthday party, a pool party I went to yesterday. But first I have two observations. The first is going to be a little bit controversial, but I don't care. We're going to do it. I was dropping my kids off at my parents' house, and the people next to them were having their lawn mowed. Why have we never asked the question, when the white man goes outside to mow his lawn, he puts on a tank top or like no shirt? But Latino guys, when they're mowing the lawn, who are doing this all day, are like completely covered from
long sleeves,
yeah,
the
even
big
maybe
giant
even like
hats.
like a huge hat, a hood.
I don't know. Maybe they're smarter.
There's two parts to this. One, the white man is trying to get a tan. And two,
I don't think it's just that. Maybe, but
to even out a little bit.
I guess.
Yeah. And then the other part, if you're in the sun all day, you can't be getting burnt or exposed for that long.
Yeah, but even being in the sun for an hour, you could get burned. It just seems like people that do this for a job have one way of doing it, and the rest of us are like, well, I don't know, I guess I'll just wear a tank top.
Well, I think it's the difference of being outside for 100 hours compared to 2.
And maybe you don't want to have to keep putting on sunscreen all day.
Yeah, maybe.
So you just wear a long sleeve shirt.
But those guys don't look like they're struggling to me. They look more comfortable.
And which is always baffling because it's really hot.
And sometimes they have, you get the dry fit.
Oh, yeah.
Just like a dry fit long sleeve
Dominic
top.
Robinson does that.
And they're just cooking.
I golf in that.
Even in the heat?
Yeah, like in Scottsdale, it's 115. I have long sleeves on.
Interesting. So the pool party yesterday, it was a friend of ours, couple we're friends with party, but it was at somebody's house, and it was essentially a kid party. Everyone there had our kids there. Dude.
Which means a mom party.
Pretty much, brother. Hey.
Gymnastics, too.
Oh, I bet.
It's good being the good dad.
Thank you.
Like if you're the guy
Yeah.
who is at gymnastics with this kid.
Oh, I wonder what happened to his wife. Is she dead?
Yeah, or something. Or he just loves his kid.
This much.
Yeah.
It's like a dog on steroids.
Yeah.
In fact, on the sign-up sheet, I signed him up, and so the first parent, whatever, on the drop-down menu, mother was first.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Dude, I was with some people yesterday, and a couple of them are going to hear this, so I'm not going to be rude, and there's no reason to be rude, but they had just come from All-Star Baseball, which they've been doing. They said they had a tournament 5 out of the last 6 weekends, and they start back up again. Tryouts are in late July, and then their season starts again in September, at which point they will also be playing flag football. It's a group of dudes kids who were like 7 years old. I sat there and listened to a group of 10 adults breaking down the players on their team and who they need to let go and who can't really give them anything offensively and who should be moved from third base. And, hey, there's a kid on another team who's available. There's 2 of them. You remember them? And one of the grandparents who goes to every game was like, that kid showed no progress.
Dude.
And I'm like, he's fucking 7. He's 7 years old. This is insane.
I'm embarrassed for being a part of all that, too.
And they were really, really into it. And I get it when the kid's like 12, 13, 14 or something. But my buddy and I who have he has a son who's about 3, but neither one of us are in youth sports yet. We just looked at each other like by the pool and we're like, what world are we in where this is all – dude, it went on for an hour. And it was the husbands, the wives, the grandparents. They were all just in it. And they're talking about other kids. And I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, they're ripping
here?
them.
Yeah.
But consider how much money they're spending.
But like Jake said, they are 7 only.
Yeah.
And I'm still embarrassed that I was in it. But like at age 12, we were doing that same stuff. And I know because one of the dads, it wasn't really my decision. It was, a collective thing. But one of the kids that was on our all-star team one year kind of ousted her to get – because one of the – we got the best player from another team.
That's the discussion that was being had yesterday.
Yeah, but the girl was friends with the group, and then she wasn't on the team, and it wasn't communicated to her. She found out some other way, and but and then after learning that, I was like, I'm not cut out for any of this. I don't. Because then the dad, I don't know. I wasn't a good friend of the guy, but I from what I heard, that guy stopped inviting people to his get-togethers.
That is the job of a coach at a school.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it was the all-star team.
That's the stakes are high.
He gave that poor kid their 13th reason, Dan.
Oh, that's dark. So
is that for shooting the place up or something? What are you saying?
Wasn't it that show? That girl got really sad and
anyways,
I don't know. I saw an opportunity.
That's what I think when you get to school sports. That's why some coach can just be like, "Hey, you're not good enough," and then you go home to your parents.
Even that, I wouldn't like to be that guy.
Well, no, but that's what they signed up to do.
Yeah,
being a parent and you're friends with the parents. The kids come over to your house, and now you're like, your ops kind of dipped below 600 last year, so.
But dude, I would be there on a Friday night making out the lineup. No. You know what? Let's move her from here to here. Yeah.
And they were telling me stories about how it was balls hot yesterday.
Oh my God!
And how there was some fight over. One team got there a little bit earlier and took the shaded dugout, even though they had already been assigned to the hot dugout.
Oh.
So when my guys showed up, they were like, "Get out!"
I've been there.
And this created apparently a huge problem.
Yeah.
And they're now yelling at each other in front of their second grade kids.
Got to go to the dugout you're assigned to.
It's insane. It's just yet another reason to not have kids.
There are many.
Yeah.
There are many. So yeah, that was I just kind of stood. I mean, this went on for a very long time. And if it stopped, it was picking back up 5 minutes later. Now everybody's had a couple of drinks in them. And it's just like, we got to get Casey off this team.
I got a couple just quick hit notes. So we went on a dog walk. I think it was Friday evening. And I wish I was rolling. I can't always record when my daughters are talking. But on this particular time, I don't know why. It had something to do with something I had to do. And we were talking music lyrics and something. And then my daughter, you know how they are. She was like, what do you think he's doing? Getting ready for ticket stock? Like she said that to my wife. And she goes, nowadays, he's getting ready for laughing stock. Like making fun of what we do.
That's a great line.
She's like, now that I don't have a real job, like not that I was respected previously.
But when we worked at the ticket, there was some air of like, oh.
Their teachers knew who, like when they found out, your dad were, oh my gosh, yeah, like.
My husband listens, yeah.
Right, now it's just embarrassment, left and right. I don't know what we're going to do. But I thought that was a good line.
That is a great line. I wish I would have come up with it.
Last night in the shower, I had like 12 great ideas for the show. That's where I have all my great ideas. And I forgot 11 of them. And the only thing I could remember when I got out of the shower was the fact that once you said that you wanted to invent shower notes, like some kind of an app or something that would be hooked up to us neurologically, right?
Yeah,
that we could just record what we're thinking. Because, again, I could have taken this show to such new heights.
Mm-hmm, but now we're screwed.
Because, the shower is kind of like the bathroom. It's one of those rare places in the house where you're just by yourself and no one can really bother you.
Well, I do think eventually we will have brain notes via Elon Musk and Neuralink. For starters, there's got to be some sort of tablet with a stylus that's waterproof.
Well, I once did get, I don't know if somebody sent it to me or I actually ordered it on Amazon. There is like a waterproof writing pad, and it just kind of laid in the shower forever. Like once I got it, I never had another idea.
Died. Yeah.
I never had an idea. It was just laying there.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So I don't know what to do about that. But then my last thing is I spent the bulk of my weekend. I got a new Mac, as I told you guys, and opened that up. It's a new Mac. It's black, just like yours.
Oh, that's cute. We're a little team.
There were a lot of seams.
It was not seamless?
It was not seamless. My weekend of Mac issues, and part of it is because I'm me. I did the Time Machine backup on an external hard drive, but then I talked to Brevik for a moment, and he said, apparently now there's a way just to go computer to computer.
Yeah, that's what I did.
And so Brevik said, I said, which way is better? He goes, well, it might be a little faster if you go computer to computer, and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, a little faster? I want that. And so I set that up like at noon on Saturday, and I walked away, went to do my things, went to the gym.
Hell yeah.
Got a little pump on. It might look like I got a lot.
You were getting an early start.
What's that?
You were getting an early start on 7-1 Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Wet the beak a little bit.
It never stops. So I got back and getting dinner ready and everything, and it was like 6 o'clock, and I noticed it still had 9 hours left.
Yeah.
Oh.
I remember mine taking a full day.
And so but I had stuff to do. So I had to cancel it.
Oh.
And start over with the external hard drive. But I also then hit the wrong button. So I ended up with like a third of my stuff on this computer. And so then I had to I called Brevik, but he wasn't there, so he's our Apple guy. So then I just went online to search and it said erase the whole computer. So then I did that, but then I erased all the programs that had already come on the computer.
Dang.
And I had to read that. So I'm spending 4 hours with this on Sunday, because Saturday I was just lost. And then, anyway, there were a lot of seams.
Doesn't it hurt to see your hero get old?
It really does. Yeah,
it's not like I would have been killing this 10 years ago.
He's got broccoli
But
here.
you
He goes
were always
to warm glass of milk at 8:30.
you could always handle technology pretty well.
It's going to happen to all of us.
Compared to everyone else in my house, I can. Or most rooms I'm in, I'm the Apple Store guy. But now, anyway, it was a big problem.
I do stuff like that with my daughter. I'll turn off her iPad and tell her it's broken. It's not an iPad. It's like a little learning tablet.
Right.
I'll be like, what is wrong with this thing? I just turned it off.
Yeah.
And then I'll mess with it for a few minutes, and then I turn it back on, and I'm like, fixed it. And she's like, oh
wow.
my God. I'm like, yeah, your dad's good at this stuff.
That's a great bit.
Yeah.
I wish I had done that.
It works. Works quite well.
Yeah, but I think we're up and flying. I actually, just in case we weren't,
You didn't bring the other Mac, did you?
I brought a backup Mac.
Oh my gosh.
So I got my other Mac
Snob.
He is.
right here, just in case if it didn't work and I got the audio right.
Yeah.
Who's going to play the open?
Failure,
That's my
failure
value.
to prepare is preparing to fail.
My
Blake.
value to the show. I'm the one with the open, and I won't let anyone else have it.
I've noticed.
And but then now it's got all the little things it's like it wasn't reading my email password, and I had to reset that, and just.
I just want to be
there's
clear
a
that
little thing here
I want
and
to be
there.
clear that this is like Dan's big problem. While we're here at the Veterans of Foreign Wars,
Well, they
the
did what they do, so I can do this and complain about
They're
it.
like, oh, my email,
Am I right?
my program doesn't work.
Oh, this is going to take 9 hours. I don't have 9 hours.
Oh, it's sad what I am.
Yeah, all of us really.
But at least I know a guy whose brother is a veteran of a foreign war.
That's right. At least you've, by third order, have me.
Yeah.
We'll hear more about comparing veterans' problems to Dan's coming up shortly, as we'll check back in with our Monday show periodically. Before we get to Today in Twitter, I'm going to try to have a treat for those of you that listen to this weekly wrap-up. Last week, you were told before anyone else about our new website, kempspin.com. Hope you were able to check that out and take a ride on random Kemp Spins. This week, I want to promote the link for the Dumb Zone Day at the ballpark. Again, we'll be out at the Rangers game on September 19th for a 1:35 first pitch against the Blue Jays. It's the second to last homestand, so one of the last home games of the year for the Rangers, and hopefully they'll be pushing for a playoff spot. I'm going to tell you the link, which I know is a beating, but I want to make sure people actually listening to this get first dibs because there's only 69 tickets available for purchase in our section. Okay, here we go. The link is FEVO, F-E-V-O, enterprise.com/event/dumbzone and the number 2. FEVO-enterprise.com/event/dumbzone2. I put this in following my directions and got it, so if it doesn't work, just listen to it again. Again, one last time. FEVO-enterprise.com/event/dumbzone2. Hope to see you out there. All right, let's move to a very electric Today in Twitter from our Tuesday Patreon-only episode with Julie Dobbs and Mike Rhyner. We watched a couple videos in this segment, so if you feel like you're missing out on context, check the YouTube link in the show notes from our Tuesday, July 2nd episode, or the full video episode is on Patreon as well. The video is only available for Patreon subscribers, so if you are not subscribed, why aren't you? Here's Tit from Tuesday.
The Dumb Zone presents Today in Twitter.
It's kick-ass open, man. All right, the first one, just our appetizer here. It's pretty short, but the University of Texas has been blowing it out big over the last week with their SEC entry celebrations. I don't even know what's going on, but ESPN was down there. Mm-hmm. They were at OU, and they've got like Schloss on, and they've got the AD. I'm shocked McConaughey wasn't there to vibe with CDC.
They sent Laura Rutledge over there to go celebrate.
Yeah,
SEC lady.
They had Pitbull, which
good.
of course resulted in a death at their concert. Crowd rush.
That's
People
too
were
bad.
So excited about Pitbull, but they
I
also
was only a Pitbull fan.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. But they also did this, and I'm just blown away by the decadence of college athletics these days, and really just colleges in general, because tuition has like a linear trajectory to the moon as far as how much it costs relative to the purchasing power of the dollar. It's never slowing down, seemingly. But they can do stuff like this. I saw this on Twitter, and it is, according to the University of Texas, the first ever drone show with pyrotechnics ever in America. Look at this.
So it's the big longhorn head
Spinning.
hovering in the sky, which is really incredible. Drone shows.
I know. I hate them, but I
don't
love
even get it.
It's a lot less exciting to me than a firework.
What if I gave you...
But now this one has fireworks attached to the drone, and it looks like the Longhorn logo is taking off.
So those
like
are
a-
all little drones.
Or it looks
a
like
rocket.
a wiener with wings. Doesn't it? Just
Yeah.
kind of hanging?
Yeah. Yeah, or you could just like even look at the top parts of the horns and think of that as like the V thing that hot guys have, and the dick is just hanging down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the Longhorn in general, you guys are equating to private parts. You've thought that this whole time?
I've never actually thought of that. Much
Now-
like when Dan pointed out that I've driven on Chisholm Trail my entire life, but I
Yeah.
never thought of it as a sexual thing.
Yeah, I
ever.
heard that. I cringed a bit.
He'll do that.
Look behind you.
Do I need to?
We got
Do
a
I have
street
to?
sign. Chisholm Trail.
Oh, okay.
Right there.
It's beautiful.
Okay, well, if you think you're cringing
The
now,
Chisholm Trail's often behind you.
Okay.
That sounds really dirty.
You're with your lady.
What's the? I don't.
Explain
that
this
mean?
to Mike.
well, it might have been a term that wasn't introduced until after your era, but in the parlance of our times, people would refer to the male reproductive product as jism.
Okay.
So when Dan saw the word
familiar with that?
chism,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he immediately seized on that and said it's the Chisholm Trail.
Yeah. Yeah. I know all that. I'm kidding.
Okay, so speaking of cringe, Julie, the second one
Julie
here,
laugh drop.
as
I like it.
the Democratic machine is in the Democratic machine is in full panic mode after Joe Biden's disastrous debate performance,
Yeah.
and
Wasn't
so
that bad? I thought he was pretty sharp.
History will tell.
It looked like he was made of clay.
And
Never heard so much malarkey in my whole life.
so they're sending Kamala Harris out there to try to do and relate to the kids, because he's completely lost the young person vote, because most of them don't remember how horrible it was whenever President Trump was President Trump.
Oh, let's get Kamala out there. That'll.
Okay, so we send
What a good idea.
Kamala to Comedy Central, and I just want you guys to watch this and tell me if you were going to vote, or if you're somebody who wants Biden removed and you're like, I'll vote for Kamala. Watch this and tell me if you feel the same afterward. This is some Comedy Central.
No, Taraji. Now, you know I wouldn't do that, especially not to a fellow bison. The real, ain't you? You know. So what's on your mind?
Oh, Madam VP Harris, I'm worried about the election. Women's reproductive rights are on the line. Our Supreme Court is on the line. Our basic freedoms are being tested, Madam VP. I know you've been traveling across the country. What are you hearing?
Yeah, girl, I'm out here in these streets. And let me tell you, you're right, Taraji. There is so much at stake in this moment. The majority of us believe in freedom and equality. But these extremists, as they say, they're not like us. No, they're not. There's a full-on attack on our fundamental freedoms. The freedom to vote. Yep. The freedom to love who you love. The freedom to be safe from gun violence. The freedom for a woman to make decisions about her
All right,
own
we were
body,
probably not
not
needing
having her
more.
government.
This is
tell her
Comedy
what to do.
Central?
No, it wasn't. I was
at
wrong.
all.
I thought I saw the watermark that said CC. That was from the BET Awards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, as they say, girl, they not like us.
Uh,
And I know that probably I bet she actually doesn't talk like that. She's sort of dressing up for the politics. She's doing a reverse code switch, but she's still using the language to relate.
yeah.
But she sounds like a robot.
I'm out here in these streets.
You know, I'm out here in these streets.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm voting.
Seemed like a Saturday Night Live skit.
Yeah.
I might sit this whole vote out.
No, you're not. Shut up.
I'm going to protest.
No, you're
Have to
not.
give us a little something better, though, don't they?
When was the last time
They
you
don't.
voted?
They don't have to, and they won't. So just bite down.
Last time I voted?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably for Jan McDowell. I'm writing her in.
Hi!
We should get her in here.
Let's get Jan McDowell in here.
That's a great idea.
So
See if she has any tattoos or piercings.
my final clip. Let's turn around. The bikini girl. My final clip.
The good old days.
I'm really glad Julie is here for this because I did not watch this show, but it was sort of in that WB UPN era with Gossip Girl, and every girl in my high school seemingly watched it or watched it and binged it in college. I'm speaking of One Tree Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a show you've ever seen?
Yeah, I watched it a bit.
Okay. You know what these are, Dan. This format.
Mm-hmm.
So probably all from the coaching tree of Dawson's Creek. So I had heard about this, and I think I'd even seen it before. But it had been a long time, maybe 10 years. And somebody was doing a list yesterday on Twitter.
I saw it.
You know what it is, don't you? Don't say anything.
I won't.
So it was the top 10 most iconic moments in TV history. Now, clearly, this person was my age or around my age because it wasn't like they had anything from MASH or, Dallas. It was all shows from probably 95 on, and like Game of Thrones and Seinfeld,
Bad.
even Breaking Bad. And then, some of these schlocky WB UPN shows, and one of them was One Tree Hill. So the clip I'm about to play for you is apparently the bad guy in the show, the guy he's a dad, but he's kind of a jerk. Do I have this right so far?
Yeah, sounds right.
For a couple seasons, he had been waiting for a heart transplant.
Okay.
So he finally got a heart, and this is the scene when they're bringing him his heart, and he's about to go into heart surgery.
All right.
Got a box of organs. Oh no, the guy carrying the box of organs slipped and there's a heart on the floor. His transplant heart is on the floor. Oh my God! There was a dog in there and he's eating it.
Oh my God.
And then that
And
guy.
no one stops the dog.
No one. And then his son looks at him like, you deserve that.
This is the beginning of the show? There are credits.
It was either beginning or end.
I think it was an end. It was like a cliffhanger moment.
Have you seen that show?
No, I didn't see it
okay.
live or anything, but I saw this on Twitter.
That's not a sketch. That's not a joke. That is a dramatic
That was
moment.
in a show?
That is a dramatic moment in a television show where somehow...
Like, first of all, you just carry a human heart in a cooler.
Like a styrofoam 7-Eleven
Right, that
cooler.
looks like the cheap cooler. You would
Yeah.
buy a nicer cooler than that.
And then it's the guy's
Arctic
dog
or
leash.
something.
Somehow there's a dog in the hospital.
Yeah, the dog is leashed at that point.
And the guy's like, oh my God, somebody pick up my heart.
Yo,
The
Somebody
heart
pick up my
falls
heart
out with
from the
ice.
ground.
So basically, also, the heart isn't wrapped in anything.
No, it's just on
It's just
ice like
lying
a
on
tall
actual
boy.
ice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess.
It's like a 6-pack. And the guy's
Joey,
like,
not
somebody
heart.
pick up my heart. And the dog's
then
like,
they
I'll
thought-
take that.
You know what? I'll let go of the dog's leash now.
Looks
picks
like it's
up
got
the
a
heart.
plastic tube sticking out of the top of it, too.
Yeah, it's an artery.
And
I
the
think.
guy-
And
Yeah.
then he just he runs down the hall and nobody stops the dog. Nobody's like, hey, wait, no.
And that
Everybody
lady,
freezes.
there's a nurse in there who gives the concerned,
And then
Nobody
even the guy
moves.
reading next to the son is kind of looks, but then he's like,
You
this is
could
back to the
tackle the dog and get the heart back and rinse it off.
And the guy that fell must have suffered a severe concussion because he doesn't move the entire
no,
time.
yeah, he's like, oh my God.
he doesn't get up like, oh man,
Oh,
where's
yeah.
the heart I was carrying?
I think he was just stunned. He's like, I didn't see that coming. Why
And
is
they
that-
run the heart to the guy who's waiting for the heart,
Yeah.
not like into
Into
the
the operating room.
Yeah, he's in the...
here.
No back door. It's no.
Okay, so go to the writer's room for this scene.
Okay, so I read an oral history about this scene that The Ringer did. And apparently they would throw just wild ideas out because it's monotonous. They did like 20 seasons of 20 episodes, or not 20 seasons.
20.
But,
Yeah.
but they would do a ton of episodes per season. And they're like, we would just get bored, and we wanted to punish the bad guy in the worst way we could. We wanted him to have some pain, and they were like, we came up with this, and we could not believe they approved it.
Oh my gosh.
And then they said they had to find the heart that looked the most similar to a human heart. They settled on pig. They had to go through at least two dogs because the first dog was not interested at all.
In the heart?
Yeah. They're like, I think his name was, I can't remember. They're like, Dexter, eat the heart. Eat the heart. And he's just not interested. And they said that the set that day was just hysterical. Like they had tons of backup hearts because everyone kept laughing every time the heart fell out on the floor.
That's great.
That's so gross.
So there you go, One Tree Hill.
Man, that's phenomenal. I wish I'd have watched that show now.
Sorry I laughed all over that One Tree Hill clip, but it was one of the more insane things I've ever seen. I thought it was just going to end with the heart being spilled on the floor with the ice and it's just laying there. But then the dog comes in and eats it, and I couldn't help myself. Again, that was from our Tuesday Patreon-only episode with Julie and Mike. What do you do after a high? Well, let's bring it back down. Let's play a low. Let's check in with the Dallas Cowboys, as Jake presents some audio that eventually led to an online squabble between teammates. Let's head back to the Grapevine VFW from our Monday episode.
There was sports. If that's what we're ready to get into.
Sure.
The wonderful world of sports. Radio Sports Scoreboard.
Okay, so this started making noise on social media on Friday. Malik Hooker, Cowboys safety, went on Keyshawn Johnson's podcast, which apparently exists. And there was a clip that went viral where they were talking about Micah's podcast. And this is something that I've thought was weird for a while, but I guess as I get old, I'm just thinking, I guess this is just the way it is now. Draymond Green has a podcast. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's tons of athletes now that they're going to get their message out there on their own, their way. It seems really weird to me, especially to do during the season. And Micah kind of took it to a new level because he would do a breakdown of the NFL every week. He would talk about the Cowboys game. He's not shy to give extremely hot opinions about the NFL. It's not like he's doing an interview show. And it's not like it's Jason and Travis Kelce, who are legitimately funny as brothers together. Micah's basically doing First Take.
It's really weird, but I like it.
Well, I'm not sure if Malik Hooker does, because eventually at some point the Cowboys players were going to be asked about this, and to Keyshawn's credit, he did ask. So I'll play this from my computer, I hope, Blake. But before I try to hit play, I'm going to make sure that we're set up, and we are.
So you're a veteran now, whatnot. How you feel? And be honest with me, though. And I ain't trying to get you in trouble. I really don't care, but I got to ask you this question. How you feel about Micah having a podcast during the season? How you feel about that?
Do you think right there we're... yeah.
Yeah, if you thought it was great, you'd say, great,
it's
fine.
It's cool, or I don't care.
Doesn't affect us at all. Yeah.
Honestly, man, like, and this is me, like, I'm one of those guys, like, I'm not into that type of stuff. You know, some guys it works for, you know, like you see the Jason Kelce's and guys like that who are successful with the podcast as well as performing on the field and having success with it. So I don't have a problem with it. I feel like a lot of these guys, though, they just get on there sometimes and they start falling into the part of, you know, just saying stuff that, you know, for the clicks and, you know, having people to come view and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't have no problem with it. My thing would be, though, for Micah, my advice would be for Micah would be, you know, just make sure we're all right, you know, where and being where your feet are. Because if we're at work and, you know, the run game's terrible, but you're doing a podcast every week and you know the run game is terrible, then, you know, what are you really caring about? Are you caring about the crowd that, you know, is watching your podcast? Are you caring about the success of our team in the Super Bowl that we're trying to reach?
So there's more, but I think you kind of get the point.
So he's not that much older than Micah. I was trying to think of that. He's 27.
Yeah.
What's Micah?
Probably 25. He was pretty young, so let's look. 25. Just turned 25.
Okay. So they're not that far apart. Because I was thinking that could be part of the disconnect. But so basically what he's saying, it's Romo and Cabo.
Mm-hmm.
It's appearances. I don't think he thinks it really affects the run-stopping game. I think that's what he's alluding to, right?
Yeah.
If you're defense.
Yeah.
But it does sound like it's like, yeah, hey, do you need to be doing it now? Like, you are Micah Parsons. You're one of the top handful of defenders in the league. You know, one of the best.
Could you make the case that's why it's okay? if like whoever.
I mean, obviously quarterbacks can't do it.
If Overshone had a podcast, you'd be like, oh, okay, it's just some spare in the back end of the roster, although he may play a lot this year. But you know what? I mean, Micah is performing. But I also would prefer him not do this. I'll play you a little bit more.
See what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, but also, a lot of people got to remember, Micah's young. He's still trying to find his way. He's still trying to grow into who he's trying to be. So, I give him grace, honestly. Like, I always hear people say stuff that he done said on the podcast or something silly he done said. But people got to remember, like, Micah's still a big kid. Micah's still a big kid. And, you can't fault a big kid for, trying to expand as well as experiencing still stuff that they ain't really been through. Because Micah only been in the league 4 years. Like, they're still experiencing stuff that he been through. He ain't never been through real adversity yet.
Okay. I thought that was pretty interesting where he's like, yeah, people will tell me some silly stuff he said or something. To me, that indicates that more than just Malik Hooker is like, man, I'm tired of hearing about whatever this guy's doing or said. Because you think Micah, like, takes notes and has a run sheet? No, he sits down, they turn on the camera, and he's just like, here's all the stuff I saw on Sunday, and here's what happened in our game, and he just talks trash. Well, not talks trash, but he just sits there and chops it up, He just shoots the shit.
But that does take some sort of preparation because he did admit he was watching games before his game.
Oh, I think he's football obsessed for sure. I just mean, I do think sometimes he says things without thinking, how will this look if somebody told my teammate that I said it?
I was also thinking about the difference in age, but when he said he's been in the league 4 years, has he completed 4?
See, I thought it was just 3.
Will be 4.
This will be 4, yeah.
And Malik Hooker has completed 7 years. And to me, that's
more than the age difference.
That's a world, that's
way
like
more.
Almost double. Like he's had the second contract.
Yeah,
He got
hurt, but
traded or whatever, free agent, right?
And being on the second team.
Yeah,
so he's been around a bit more, seen a lot, whereas Mike is still kind of in the honeymoon phase.
So, of course, Micah took this in stride and didn't tweet about it at all and didn't really have any comment that he would then have to later delete on Twitter.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, because I just went and tried to find it on his Twitter. But
it was deleted very quickly.
It's embedded in the John Matroda article. He said... He quote tweeted somebody who said Malik Hooker is absolutely right and had the little 40-second clip of the video, which this is one of those situations where, what were we going to call it? Touch the clip? Something. This is one of those situations where when you go and find the full 3 minutes, it doesn't get better. Like the 40-second clip, you can listen for another 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and he's still just like, yeah, I think it's weird, and maybe you shouldn't be doing it, but I don't have a problem with it, trying to backpedal. So Micah said... Just wish you.
Okay, so you're saying the bit of you hear a 40-second thing, but if you hear it in full context, it's not. He's not ripping you.
Yeah,
but in this case, he is.
Yeah, he pretty much just keeps going.
Okay,
is Micah tagged in the original tweet?
No.
Or did he have to go find this?
Of
or
course,
somebody sent it.
Yeah, and it was really viral.
Okay,
what the clip that Keyshawn put out or that some Cowboys fan put out, he probably name searches, but his name's not even in the tweet. So
yeah.
It just says Malik Hooker's absolutely right. Micah said, just wish you said this to me, but instead on some podcast. That's not a real sentence, by the way, but that's okay.
But he's talking to Malik Hooker here.
Yeah, and he says, and you got my number, family. And then he adds Malik Hooker, and you my locker mate. So you could have said this any day. And you do realize I shoot the podcast on our off day. Why ain't we talking about everyone's preparations and focus leading up to game week? I mean, I can point out a lot of other things, but I'm just not.
Okay.
That's kind of weird of like, hey, you could be doing more. Or somebody could be.
Just to retort here, he could also just call Malik Hooker.
Yes.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, I think it's weird that Malik Hooker did this publicly, especially since he's talking about going on a podcast and saying things that could affect.
But it was also like kind of out of the blue. He didn't prep that.
Yeah.
It just, they asked him and he said what was on the top of his head. Micah Parsons had time to sit, think, listen to Malik Hooker.
But then he quote tweeted.
And then
so
call
that everybody who follows him.
And added him.
Yeah.
And so, yes, I mean, that's, again, reading the room being the internet.
and knowing what is this going to do if I do this. This is going to make it way bigger. And that's perhaps part of Micah Parsons just being in the heavily online generation.
Yeah. Big kid, as Malik Hooker called him. Now, I agree with Malik on this point. I like listening to Micah because it's good for our show, but I don't think it's something that makes a whole lot of sense. Maybe you do the whole offseason and you pop up in the bye week. It's weird to me. It's a little bit weird.
It's weird to me when they do it before a playoff game.
Yeah, Draymond.
And he's done that twice, right?
Yeah.
He at least
Micah.
He slowed down. I'm pretty sure
he slowed down for playoffs, but he was back for Super Bowl week.
Yeah, and
I mean, pre-Cowboys in a playoff game.
I don't think so.
The week leading up, he did one, didn't he?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Not 2 years ago? Okay.
Maybe 2 years ago. I'd have to check. But like Draymond does them mid playoff series. Like they're playing the Mavericks, and he's like, "Oh, Luka gave me problems last night." It's weird.
Point to the rings or the banners.
That's
or whatever.
very true. Very true. So what's weird about this is I agree with Malik Hooker here. It's weird.
Yes. Micah needs this.
Yeah. I don't know whether he'll take it or not remains to be seen. However, later in the podcast, Keyshawn starts asking questions that really, if Malik Hooker were to take his own advice, he should not answer.
I know we got to let you run, but I'm going to ask you this last question, and don't be giving me no bullshit. I don't talk about people's money and all that. Who should they pay first, man?
Okay. Now we're getting into the sort of thing that Micah would be like, let me see, and immediately answer it, and everyone would be like, no, that's what we're telling you. So Malik Hooker goes on this rant, 3.5-minute rant about like, hey, you young guy, you got to give him some grace, but I mean, he'll get there, he'll grow up. And instead he's like,
who should they pay? You got 3-4 dudes out there. You got Zach Martin, you got...
That's the first alarm bell for me. I didn't look this up, but I'm pretty sure the restructure they gave, when he held out of camp.
Last year.
Just last year. He signed up for quite some time.
Okay, so Keyshawn not totally doing his research.
No, I would say that, he signed up for at least 2 more years, and then they have a voidable year. But, I mean, he held out last year. He's not a pending free agent, and he's 35.
Okay.
This is very similar to when he thought that the Mavericks could get a little rim protection in the playoffs out of JaVale McGee, who was on the team last year.
Yeah, he's a year late.
I think that was him. That might have been Perk, but here we go.
You got CeeDee Lamb, you got Micah Parsons, you got Dak Prescott. Who should they address, like, right before training camp? All of them should get their money, but who should go first?
Okay, so all of them should get their money.
So he's just like, all right, let me think about it.
Yeah, isn't the answer here, I don't know. That's not my job.
Yeah, I come to work every day.
I just want them all there. I'm not here to give an opinion on. Yeah. That's if he was to heed the advice of
himself
10 minutes ago, Malik Hooker.
Yeah. Instead, he's just like, let me think about it.
Well, I'm gonna just go ahead and say this now. Micah should be. Micah, he shouldn't be yet. I wouldn't put Micah yet. I feel like we still got a lot to prove. Micah still has a lot to prove. Like he's done a great job his first couple years in the league. Don't get me wrong. He's a fantastic player. But I feel like Micah still has a surface that he don't even know that he can scratch.
All right, wait. This ain't going to help this relationship at all.
No.
No.
Like
if I'm Micah, I'm more upset with this than I am the other stuff.
Yes.
Wait, I got a lot to prove?
I'm
all-pro. I'm almost the MVP.
Defensive Player of the Year 3 years in a row, almost in the running for it.
Yeah, all pro.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean one of the. I'm
Pro
not
Bowl
Pro Bowl.
Yeah, I'm not going to play flag football.
I'm one of the 2. Yeah.
Yeah. His point here is that he still has a lot of room to grow. He tries to soften it with that.
He can get better. Yeah.
Yeah.
He don't even know that he can scratch as far as what he's doing. So I would say Micah. I would say Micah's last. Just for that reason. I'll probably say Zach Martin would be after Micah.
So it's one thing, and I guess it's not his job to know, but does he not remember that Keyshawn might not know.
Yeah.
Malik Hooker doesn't remember that Zach Martin wasn't at camp last year, and they got a rework deal to guarantee last year, this year, and next year. And he's like, let's go Zach Martin.
Yeah, he shouldn't even be on this list. It should be the
Those
main
3.
guys they have to worry about
are
are
the only 3 that everyone's talking about.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, would it have been weird for him to correct Keyshawn in that moment?
No, this is what you want. You want him unaware of what players' contracts are, right?
Yeah, no, I do, but as opposed to Micah?
Yes.
Yeah.
After Micah, for the simple fact of, like, Zach, he's done what he's done in the league, and, he is who he is. Like, he's going to be there. I would probably say CD first. Let me just go there. I'll probably say CD.
It's like the college football playoff reveal where they do.
No, that's
out of order.
That's very, very interesting that he would even say that. Because, this will now cause people to say, well, I mean, what kind of a leader is Dak?
Yeah, well.
Wouldn't any really good quarterback, all their teammates are like, I really want if we lost Dak, we'd be dead. You have to lock up Dak.
Okay, well, to Keyshawn's credit, that set off an alarm bell for him, too, and he followed up when he was done with his list.
So you'd rather pay an offensive lineman?
Again, fake argument. He doesn't need a contract.
So you'd rather pay an offensive lineman than the quarterback?
Yeah, I feel like because of the simple fact of when Zach Martin ain't out there, you see how it is for him. Like, it's rough because not only just for his performance, that confidence for guys around him. Zach Martin gives a lot of those offensive guys confidence to go out there and be able to perform how they do. Little do a lot of people know, like, yeah, they're great, but when Zach Martin's out there, it's a different type of confidence. Like, I know he's going to do a job. I know he's going to do everything to a T to make sure that he's protecting Dak. And I'm not saying
all right,
guys,
that's one of the – maybe he's about to say this, but I was going to say that's one of those quotes that it's like if you say if you said last year, man, the routes were run much better and the play calls were in real quick.
Nothing against Kellen Moore.
Right. So that's kind of the nothing against Dak.
Yeah.
But actually, Dak doesn't inspire confidence around him and doesn't make other players better. Zach Martin does.
Yeah.
And when have you ever heard that about any team anywhere, that the offensive lineman is more important than the quarter? Well, if it's Tyrod Taylor or somebody, you might say, yes, I'd rather.
Sorry, Tyrod. Yeah, no, listen.
And I'm not saying other guys isn't. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But I just feel like guys like that, Zach Martin, those guys like you, man. Once you got those guys and you know you line up with them guys, man, that's a dog like that. Like, it gives you that much more confidence. Even me as a defensive player, like, I love lining up and we about to come out the tunnel and I see Zach Martin right there because I know it's going to be a long day for whoever's across from me.
Damn. How is this not the big clip out of this whole thing?
I know. That's why I told you I wanted to listen to the whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah, and he has a couple of other comments about the difference between Zimmer and DQ that are interesting because I don't know if you saw the quote at like OTAs where Micah said that he said probably 20 words to Mike Zimmer.
Yeah.
Or Mike Zimmer said 20 words to him.
Yeah, if that, right? They didn't talk at all. Whereas, like, he was Dan Quinn's best friend.
Yeah. Yeah, and Malik, I didn't cut that part off, but he's kind of like, look, it is different. He's like, the scheme will be pretty much the same, but Quinn was very player-friendly in that, if you couldn't do something trying again and you couldn't get it right, he would dumb it down for you. Like, he would bring it to your level, where Zimmer's like, get off the field.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You would call that old school.
Yeah, very so different. But, yeah, man, the whole thing's action-packed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Plus, I thought originally he was going last to first.
Yeah.
And I thought he would correct Keyshawn when he says, "Oh, I didn't say Zach Martin's more important than Dak."
No, he's like, hell yeah.
But in fact, he did.
Double down.
So his list is CeeDee Lamb, Zach Martin, who doesn't need a contract, Dak, Micah.
Dang, man.
So now you got Micah mad at you because he's ranked fourth.
Yeah.
You got Dak mad at you. You got the national media. Again, I can't believe this isn't the viral thing, but this will be picked up.
Oh, and dude, this is going to be, like I said, no matter if they think they squash it before camp or not, this is going to be all over camp. And by the way, CD won't be there. So the guy who he ranked as...
You think he's holding out?
Oh, yeah.
Like he hasn't been at the OTAs or anything?
No.
Oh.
No.
And I think what helps him is Jefferson got his deal.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, that's right.
Yeah. So
that's another
the guy who's
Cowboys late to the party.
Yeah, the guy who's not there will be the guy who they're debating. Well, you said that he was the most important player to be paid. It's funny. It's more Cowboys bullshit.
And can you imagine? Are they going to go through this season without Dak having a contract?
Yeah.
Is he going to be $40 million on the cap?
Is it not more than that?
I thought that was dead money if he leaves.
Yeah, I think that he's more
Like
than
whatever
that this
he.
year. But yeah, no, he's.
Because if you plan to have
Did you
him
mean $56 million on the cap
this year,
Yeah,
and then nothing if he walks.
right. Nothing if he walks, but
So the whole thought is, if you plan to have him past this year,
then you would have signed
it
him
would
and
be
reduced
ridiculous.
his cap hit to
Yeah.
what it-
Which they can still do.
Yeah, no, but they're not getting
now
the
you missed
benefit of
free
doing
agency
it.
and-
Yeah. It's all of the wrong ways to do things. I almost hope he gets to walk.
I do too.
I don't want it for my Cowboys soul because I love him.
I would
but
like to
almost want-
see what the market is. I mean, obviously somebody will want him.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, he's loved.
But I would kind of like to see what he's like in another offense without a stacked offense around him.
Yeah, well, I'd also like to see what their plan is if that happens.
You got a former number 2 overall draft pick.
I think number 3, right? But still, you've got to stop bringing that up.
You would have to pay first, right?
Yeah, because his option's coming up.
Yeah.
So
you can't even watch him play like the
really-
Packers did with Jordan Love. You'd have
Right.
to pay him.
You have to pay him for 1 year.
Yeah, but
You have to do it this year, pick up that option year for $20 million or whatever.
God, are you going to want to do that?
I mean,
Well, yeah, can they on the cap now?
I don't. They could figure it out, but I mean, they could also just try to work a deal out with him next year if they tell him you're going to be our starter, and it's not going to be much. Speaking of Tyrod Taylor, although Tyrod Taylor had a bunch of wins, Trey Lance has virtually 0.
Right. And he's already, with a stacked team, he didn't look good.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy was better. Will CD be in camp by the time we're at camp? Because we're going for, like, the later half of camp.
If he's going to be there at all, it'll be then. I mean, look, I've been wrong a lot lately, but I would be surprised if CD shows up day one. And if anything, he won't practice. Like,
he'll be in the building to avoid the fine.
Yeah, the hold-in.
Yeah.
That's a popular term over the last couple years. You just show up.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But I don't think he'll be participating day one.
Yeah, that's interesting. I talked to the guy this morning who is threatening to drive us to camp.
Threatening?
Yeah.
RV boys.
Yeah. And it seems like he's wanting to try and pick that bill up for us, and I said we'd have a nice bed for him that he'd have to share with Blake.
Oh, I called Blake.
That's fine.
He said he's on.
Whatever.
Everybody wants to sleep with Blake.
Yeah.
But
we'll be there.
I did tell him if we get that call from somebody who says they got a PJ, we'll kind of back out of this.
Yeah.
deal. But otherwise, it looks like we're driving to training camp.
I'm not.
Can you imagine any bigger beating in your whole life?
Yes, I can.
This sounds amazing to me.
Driving there and driving back.
Oh, you guys got to drive back?
Yeah, we're gonna drive back.
Oh, that's tough, man. I'll be at a lake in Idaho.
Uh huh.
Jake is a jerk, man.
He is. He's bringing this up all the time.
No, I'm not.
Today in the meeting.
You guys know. I think it's all of us. You know, those being people with male genitalia don't really care about our birthdays. But we will be on the road on my birthday, like a full day of just celebrating my birthday in an RV with Dan and Blake and Rob. What are we gonna do? What do you guys got planned?
I don't know.
F you.
For those that have missed it, we'll actually be covering Cowboys training camp this year by shoving all our stuff in an RV and heading west. As one might imagine, this has Dan torn. On one hand, Spencer McKenzie's and the fish and seafood burrito. On the other, riding in an RV for 2 days with us. So here is Dan flip-flopping on the RV already. His optimism is from Tuesday, his avoidance from the very next day.
He's scouting RVs.
Oh, yeah.
Scouting RVs. We have found an RV.
Oh, yeah?
So unless there's a Hail Mary, and we get that private jet, because I will still accept that.
You're never going to get it unless you don't start full-time saying PJ or Peach. You got to prove that you're one of them.
Yeah, that's tough to do.
Yeah, we wouldn't.
I'm definitely look more like an RV guy.
Boy, truer words have never been spoken.
I'm not completely looking forward to the RV trip, but I'm going to be a very positive influence on the whole thing.
Mark this down, okay? July 2nd, he says he'll be a very positive influence on the whole thing.
I am.
So what's
Also-
what's day 2 of this trip? Check
What do you
back
mean?
in then.
Oh, yeah.
I'm also marking down, he says he'll go on the RV.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a good chance he flies either out there or back.
Ooh, guys, my back.
Yes, and that's going to be it.
Oh,
His kids
man.
are too old to make up some bullshit on that front.
Yeah.
Lost that card, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Maybe one of them can get pregnant real quick.
I was about to say it, but they're your kids, so kind of left it there for you.
Hey, does the RV have a TV in it where I can hook up my Xbox?
Yeah, we'll have a tournament, bro.
Ooh.
We'll have to check and see if it's compatible with your Nintendo.
Well,
PS3, Tiger Woods Golf.
No, we're
I'll
working.
play some golf with you.
We're working. You better
We're
not
gonna be driving
you
like
better
20
not bring your
hours.
clubs.
No, but I'm bringing my Xbox.
I can't believe how far we've fallen.
We
We're
will
gonna be
be-
driving to camp.
Under a month of NCAA, I'm going to be playing it.
I'm going to stop being positive now.
Jesus Christ, that took 3 minutes.
Live to tape. And I'm Dan McDowell.
I'm Jay Kemp.
I'm Blake Jones.
God, I hate that we've normalized that.
Not me.
We let him get away with one.
All right, we'll trade that for I'll fly to California.
No,
Meet you
no,
guys
sir.
there.
No, sir.
All right, he's begun negotiation.
I know.
He's obviously asking for too much,
Yeah.
but we could think of something.
You know
I
what?
know, man.
No, I'd say this is a non-starter.
There was these two huge rocks out in my yard that my wife was lamenting. We have to move them because like there's a hornet's nest under it, and there could be it's real wet. So she's like, I think there's a sprinkler leak, and I should have done that. I'm just thinking of it now. I got to go try to move those rocks.
You're trying to hurt
and
yourself.
just rip my back.
You're trying
and
to
be
do
like, I gotta.
Yeah.
Like when Blake
I
Bortles
can't
wanted to
sit
get a
in
fifth
a car for 40 hours.
Yeah.
Or
Oh, Minshew.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I confused my spare white guy quarterbacks.
I was looking at the route.
It looks fun, doesn't it?
We're going to be driving to Oxnard.
You can't look at it.
We're going to go through Amarillo. Is there anything
72-ounce steak.
Albuquerque.
Go see the house.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind stopping in there. Well, who knows what I'll think of halfway through the
Something
trip. That looks about
zany.
halfway. Sedona. I like Sedona.
Okay.
And it doesn't look like there's anything else. There's three things.
What you'll have your boys in the open road.
But if anybody wants to hit us up and say they'll meet us on the way somehow,
like Forrest Gump.
Guys, they're like, yeah, I'm like, do we go through El Paso? Someone emailed me from El Paso, said they'd.
There are a
meet
couple
us.
different routes you could take.
I know, but you have to be on the quickest route.
Yeah,
we're not like veering off to go see you.
I don't think we will be going through El Paso.
In Carlsbad.
You never been to Carlsbad's great.
Well, we're not going that way.
Got the caverns.
Roswell. We're not going to Roswell. Although that'd be a good way.
It's Roswell.
And
it's also pretty interesting to see.
We're not going to the Gila National Forest. If you were thinking maybe we'd meet you there.
I wonder if they say Gila or Gila. Because it's a Gila monster, right? I think that's how you say it. But I've never heard it referenced in terms of the park. Big Gila monster guy.
With each passing day, I grow less and less confident Dan will be on the RV with us. Hell, it honestly just might be me and Video Man after all is said and done. All right, let's get to viewer mail. This from our Wednesday episode. Schedule got moved around a little due to the holiday, and we were joined by local comedian Lawrence Rosales, and we all got to learn what moosing is.
Mind if I read a few viewer mails?
Go for
Let's do it.
This is viewer mail time.
TK's this weekend.
Please.
TK's Comedy. TKScomedy.com.
Tell Lawrence you heard about him on. No, we don't need you to do that. Let's see. My husband, Chris Hughes, his friends call him Moses.
Okay.
Wants a birthday shout out. His birthday is July 3rd. We call it his Dirk birthday because he's 41. That's from Jennifer.
But they're just silly. That's what we do.
Funning around.
And actually, a concerned listener named Chris Hughes emailed this morning. Now, Jennifer actually reached out a while ago, like last week sometime. But Chris Hughes emailed as well. He said he wanted to make sure he got his bits in because Danny is his leader. And he says, the only interesting thing about me is in January of 2023, I had emergency brain surgery following a complication from heart surgery the prior month.
Oh, God. You tear your ACL on the way in there, too? Or what else could go wrong?
I think there's a message in there somewhere.
Yeah, before he's 41.
Oof.
Well, I guess you're alive now.
I guess it went okay.
Yeah, I guess he's fine.
Yeah.
He was able to type an email.
Got a wife and stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the only version of romance we experience is someone emails Dan and says, it's my husband's birthday.
Yeah, that is pretty romantic, though. That is taking the extra step.
Yeah.
Uncle Hotmail, it is the Dylan Raiola birthday for my daughter, McKinley.
The Oregon Ole Miss quarterback?
Well, look it up.
Are you thinking about Jeremiah Masoli?
Maybe.
She's been in dance for over 10 years, and the dance moms whooping and hollering in the crowd are the worst part about the shows and recitals.
Oh, God.
Did they do that?
Oh, yeah. At the end. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Or during, yeah. Like when they take the stage, there'll be somebody who's like, kill it, Shaden!
What an absolute beating.
Shaden?
Yeah. Whatever.
You've heard the name Shaden?
Oh, that's
definitely.
light work.
More Blake's Book Club, more Kemp Spins, and more of the hot-sounding intern from Jamie in Denver. I've got, I wish my wife a happy birthday for Friday, so we're not doing a show Friday. And that's why I'm going to read these now. In fact, we will next be with you on Monday, unless your name is Blake. Blake's going to do a weekly wrap-up.
Yep, I'll be with you Saturday.
Dylan Raiola hasn't even played in college yet.
Anyway, my wife's birthday.
High school kid?
He's a freshman this fall.
Oh, but he's gonna be
good?
good?
Just
Okay.
move on.
All
This is
right.
annoying.
Okay.
It's her Ezekiel Elliott times the square root of Brett Favre's jersey birthday.
Which Ezekiel Elliott?
So it's 42?
Oh, man.
More Dan, I would love to have the first 90% of a cigarette with Jake and let him finish the last 10%.
Ooh.
Keep it 100. So, I have his email address. It kind of said Mr. Barger, but there was no name. He didn't give his wife's name or his name. So if you're a lady whose birthday is Friday.
That sounds like a teacher in a teen movie.
So the reason, Lawrence, that he's bringing up that he'd like to have the first 90% of a cigarette with Jake, let him finish the last 10%, because you're, what's his name, Jimmy
Nelson.
Jimmy Nelson. Do you know one of his bits is...
I know more of them than I'd care to, yeah.
Would you rather...
Oh.
Do you know the 90%, 10% bit?
Was it like rather sleep with, or what was it?
Would you rather give 90% of the blowjob, like the first 90% of a blowjob, right?
Yeah.
Or the last 10%?
Okay. Do you want to put in the work, or do you want to just get there for the end? Yeah.
Like if you had to choose,
Jimmy
right now, we're servicing Blake, me and you.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Why is this a tandem bike?
Man,
well, somebody's got to go 90. Somebody's got to go 10.
I mean, but how are we ending though?
Well, you're ending.
The point is,
it's ending.
Yeah. Do you want to finish Blake off, or do you want to?
I mean, am I taking it in the mouth? There's so many variables here.
It's either the
Yeah, bro.
It ends with a bang. Baby.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I guess give me the top 90%.
I think that's what I chose.
He's gay. He's gay. Second he walked in here, I'm like, this guy
I was trying to hide
He
it.
wants as much dick as possible.
Jimmy used to have a great bit about only sleeping with post 9/11 pussy, and that was yeah.
He's a firefighter, for God's sakes.
Yeah. Love Jimmy. Love his wife and his dogs.
Father Dan, Saturday is.
Hold on, real quick. The cool thing about that is you could kind of lie to him about what it was like. Like, obviously, they have the internet and stuff, but you could be talking to him like, honey, you just don't know what it was like that day, you know? You could just make up, like, this entire lore about what the time around 9/11 was like, because they don't know.
Like you were there?
You could do that.
Like that Steve Resnini guy or whatever his name was?
Yeah,
that was
he,
on The League?
The League, that's right.
Yeah, he lied about being in the building at 9/11.
Man, that has got to be one of the worst all-time lies to have to walk back publicly.
It's such an easy thing to not say. It's so easy to not say.
He did walk it back publicly, though. He went on Stern and talked about it.
Yeah.
And then he talked about it on the show on Comedy Central.
Yeah, he's like, I was in New York.
It's close, though.
Saturday is Colby Connor's 31st birthday.
Aggie name?
Yeah, 100%, especially the double C.
Jake, Blake, Colby, and I both have 1.5-year-old sons, so more dad talk. How old is Brooks?
2.5.
Carter?
A little over 1.5.
Have they ever mingled?
I don't think so.
Because Brooks is downstairs.
Yeah.
You live right down the street. Let's bring Carter
You
over.
want me to go get him right now?
Yeah.
What's your scene? You have one?
Yeah,
Right?
3-year-old.
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 That's good times.
It is very good time. Great dude. His
Three-
mom keeps saying I need to be meaner to him, and I'm like, I don't know.
Is he a three-nager?
Yeah, I'm like I kind of like just
God, I
being
hate
cool.
that
A
term.
three-nager?
It's no longer the terrible twos. There's
I've never heard that.
They're three-nagers.
Three-nagers?
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're little dickheads.
I think it just means they get a personality.
Yeah.
I never thought the twos were terrible. I thought it was all great, but I had 2 girls.
Ah.
They were both great.
It just depends. I mean, day to day. It's day to day. Mine get along now, though, mostly, so that's cool.
That's good.
She doesn't want to leave him in the street anymore?
She does still say stuff like, yesterday it was, I wish we could take his voice to the dump.
Okay.
She's aware of the dump.
Get rid of it.
I've taught my son to say, I don't have any money. And he really enjoys saying it. And just anytime he asks for anything, I'm like, do you have any money? He goes, I don't have any money. And I'm like, you're right, you don't have any money. Get back in the car.
Know your place.
Yeah.
My leaders are Brunig and her husband and Philip Kingston. I spent a week in Hong Kong with Kingston back at our old law firm.
Nice.
I also went to a Ranger game with Liz Griffin.
Okay.
That's 2 of our top lawyers of our super, dream team.
Dream team.
Sorry. Anyway, this is from Austin. Day 1. He claims to be number 4.
Wow.
Ooh.
Really?
Subscriber number 4, and he put a screenshot to prove it.
Be a weird thing to Photoshop, so I'm going to have to take him at his word there.
That's his 9/11.
See about that.
He's lying about it.
To the Mark, Tom, and Travis of the podcast world.
I'll take it.
Well, I'll be damned.
My name is Colby Connor. Wait, did we do this guy?
Yeah. Double C, Zaggy name.
Oh, okay. So we already got your buddy told us.
That's romance. That's a dude being a dude for a dude.
Isn't that sweet? Yeah. All right. Then we also have my XXX birthday. He says that's 30 in Roman numerals. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Got it.
Let's see. While this birthday viewer mail is being read over the airwaves, I'll be in Mexico on a trip with my wife and likely moosing her.
Interesting. Don't know it.
What's the moose?
I don't either.
If you're not familiar with the moose,
Sounds like we're about
Nice. Yeah.
it's a sexual act that takes place while performing doggy. The thruster raises his hands and gives himself antlers similar to the Rangers celebration of yesteryear. However, with the lady facing forward, she is completely unaware that she's been moosed.
What the hell?
That's awesome.
No, it's not.
It's a classic and personal favorite I like to whip out on special occasions. Feel free to add it to your own bedroom arsenal.
Just doing this?
Just doing this, yeah.
Do you consider yourself to have a bedroom arsenal?
Yeah, I was about to say, arsenal is such an aggressive word for what most men are doing. Yeah.
No.
Like, there's like 2 or 3 things, and that's about it.
Yeah, I might as well be like a medieval knight. I got one sword. It's pretty much my only move. I'm definitely not putting my hands above my head, pretending to be.
Yeah.
Who's that for?
Who is that for? This is for the boys. You know, my number one move is I stay thankful.
Yes.
You know, just stay very thankful.
Yes.
You know.
Mine is I communicate.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's Douglas Waterbottom.
Okay.
Lieutenant Dan.
You're a wild boy, Doug.
July 4th is my Nick Van Exel birthday, which is pretty cool because 3 + 1 = 4. A numbers man like yourself can appreciate that.
This is a bit Lawrence that people started that he's let get way out of control.
I like to see a bit run off the rails.
I just
come to the right place.
Organically, things happen. I don't control anything. My leaders are the Hop to It girl. You're familiar with the Hop to It girl?
Yeah, I'm going to be opening for her next year, I'm sure.
Yeah.
She's really catching on fire here. Everybody loves it, you know.
Blake said the Kids Bop version is Hop to It girl.
Hop to It. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
That's good shit, Blake.
Thank you.
That's very good.
His leaders are the Hop to It girl and Jake and Blake's general disdain for Dude Perfect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those guys played pickup basketball at a DFW area rec center I frequented in high school around 2011-ish.
We were the coolest guys in the world.
They were the absolute worst.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
They called every foul.
Yeah, I bet they did.
They ran clearly practiced plays.
Oh, my gosh.
They thought they owned the place, etc.
That all checks out.
So just imagine what it would be like to play pickup basketball against those guys, and whatever you're thinking would be accurate.
Yeah.
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 From Jake, day 2, number 1524.
So they got basketball stereotypes from themselves.
Yeah. They're all probably
They're
wearing
not-
matching Nike neon.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't.
2
I
more.
would have been out there like freaking Lambeer, just head hunting.
2 more. These are non-birthday emails now. Guy went to, he says, the subject line is, did the Kansas City Chiefs retire Jackie Robinson's number? I think it's a bad bit that Major League Baseball retired Jackie Robinson's number in every ballpark. Because I think it was just hey, look at what we're doing.
Yeah. Totally not racist.
We're not racist.
Yeah.
We don't have
Yeah.
racist hiring practices because we did this.
And once they did that, that fixed all racism in baseball.
For
That's
sure.
right.
No player ever was subjected to that ever again.
Oh, I do love seeing that shit on jerseys in sports where they're like the back of the helmet or the end zone says end racism. Every time I'm like, oh, look,
Dude,
we did it.
Listen, I'll pull some up here, but the peak of that was the bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the NBA was in the bubble,
Oh, yeah.
and it was in
that's
the
when I
middle of of major, social unrest. There were some hilarious ones, like education reform was like one of the
The name on a jersey.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was. Obviously, the basic ones like Black Lives Matter. There was a jersey that said "I can't breathe." Si se puede. That was a yes, we can. Anti-racist. Just on the back of your jersey, like you're gonna watch the finals when the Lakers won with LeBron with your kid 15 years ago. And you're going to see I am man pass to group economics. You're going to have such a hard time explaining that whole scene.
Yeah.
And then there was Marcus Morris with share love on the back of his jersey as he's shit-talking Luka and stepping on his ankle.
Yeah, as he's fighting under the basket.
My jersey would just say moose it.
Moose it.
Moose it, please.
It's going to be a big moose weekend for all of us.
Dude, between
can't wait.
Hakua and
We have to
Moose,
try
this is
it.
going to be erotic.
We have to
Big
try it.
Moose weekend.
Try it. I mean, it's pretty much just like, can you have sex? And
Well,
then
yeah.
Are you foolish or silly enough to just do a little fucking cartoon move? I'd probably do that. I'd probably go Kenny Gant.
The
shark?
Put the shark on him. You're going to do it.
By the way, Lawrence is vaping, so I'm going to vape too. So people don't. No, you're fine.
I keep mine. Look,
I used to just don't do it.
He is a narc.
Yeah, what a narc.
Oh, look who's vaping.
I hold it in deep.
I'm gonna do it.
Here's the reason I have to do it. Because people think I do it when I'm simply breathing deep, and they're like, "I'm tired of hearing you vape." And people are going to be
look
like,
who's
"Oh, he's
reading the
doing it."
Reddit comments.
Yep.
I thought you
So
told me
online.
I don't know.
So now I'm in.
Yeah. I got accosted by a guy at Starbucks the other day for vaping on the patio.
Oh, the patio?
Yeah, on the patio.
Was he?
And then him and his wife surrounded me, and they had like those backpacks on, but we're at Park and Preston, like those military backpacks on.
Oh my God, CrossFitters probably.
Yeah, I noticed they had pocket knives.
Were they concerned for your health, or was it you can't do that?
You
out
can't
here?
do that here. And I was just sitting there reading a book with my headphones on.
Come on.
Yeah, and then he started filming me. And I was like,
I
was told him, I was like, just call the cops or something, man. I don't know why you got to be so weird. Serial killer.
Not gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
Dan, I happened to be in Kansas City Monday for work, so I went to watch the U.S. men's national team play Uruguay in the Copa America tournament at Arrowhead. Gay, I know.
I wasn't going to say it, but...
It was my first time there, so I'm taking in the scenery when I noticed their Ring of Honor has a curious name and number, and he sent a picture of the stadium. And they just have different names of Kansas City Chief greats of the past, and here it says 42 J. Robinson. As you know, like, the Miami Heat retired Michael Jordan's number. Like, some teams will just do bits.
The Mavs.
Well, the Mavs did. They jumped on Kobe. When Kobe died, they retired his number. So there is precedent. And I think there might even be an NBA team that retired number 42 for Jackie Robinson, but I can't remember. The point is, he's wondering, is that the case with the Chiefs? Did the Chiefs go full Mark Cuban and add a baseball player to their Ring of Honor? Would like to hear a Dumb Zone Investigates on this topic. No puppet from subby number 55, Cam Smith. So I did the research this morning.
Fantastic.
On this. And it turns out that they had a player who started in 1960. His career went through 1971. Johnny Robinson.
Okay.
Who is...
They're clear.
White. And was drafted as a running back. First 2 years in the league, 458 yards rushing. The next year, 200 yards rushing. So it didn't seem to be going well. He then switched to, it looks like, safety.
Back in the good days, you could do that.
And he ended up being an all-pro 6 years in a row at safety. Pro Bowl 2 years in a row, then he became an all-pro player. So that's huge. So he probably deserves to be in the Ring of Honor.
Okay. Fair enough.
So we have done the research. And finally, from Adrian, he says, I found another Roseanne.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
I might have to find the picture. So
I have a theory that Roseanne, the person, is also an archetype for just a human being's look and affect.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you can be a Roseanne. You can be a man, actually. The first one was, I don't know if you know what Travis Tritt looks like, but he was playing at a festival I went to, and I was like, that is a Roseanne right there.
I like this. I like this Roseanne.
It was clear. And then former Reds owner Marge Schott. People you probably don't know what they look like, but it sounds like you know what I'm talking about.
Who was the lesbian that was like the daytime host? Before Ellen.
Ricky Lake.
Ricky Lake
is a Roseanne. That's Roseanne, 100%.
Super Roseanne, yeah.
Yes. What do we got, Dan?
Okay, I wanted to pull up the picture here. If I can, on my tiny little phone.
You're probably everyone listening.
Ricky Lake looks like she would moose Roseanne. That's what it is.
Yeah. Everyone listening, you have an aunt who's a Roseanne.
Mm-hmm. I've got two.
You can tell by his voice. You can tell
You say dudes can be Roseanne.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude can be a Roseanne.
Yeah, he says Vince Neil. Do you think Vince Neil?
Yeah, there's some Roseanne there. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Okay.
Keep an eye out.
Moosing. Unbelievable. This leads us to our first check-in with the dumb phone.
Hey, Dumb Zone. I was wondering if you could help me figure this out. My wife and I into pegging. And, I'm pretty sure she's been moosing me. How do I find out? How can I confirm that she's moosing me like that? And what can I do to stop it?
Gotta be careful out there. If you're the pegging type, make sure to check your 6 every so often to make sure you're not getting moosed. Or head over to dumbzonemerch.com and get our anti-moosing mirror. It's a mirror you hold during, so you can make sure your partner doesn't moose you in bed. Be safe out there. If you'd like to call the dumb phone, hit us up at 903-865-DUMB, 903-865-3862. Okay, let's get to probably the highlight of the episode. William Pace was the host of a late-night cable access show in Dayton, Ohio. If you haven't heard his backstory, please check out our May 2nd episode on YouTube, as a young Dan McDowell went on his show and turned it into a zoo. Well, we booked current-day William Pace on the program, and it went probably exactly like you thought it would, ending with him singing the Dumb Zone an early happy birthday. Enjoy.
You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
I have a little present for you. I thought it was just, when I heard a couple of weeks ago that I was the voice of the day, I thought that was just the cutest thing since homemade ice cream. So I have a few mystery gifts here for you.
All right.
And the first one is my album, my Christmas album. It's called William Pace Sings Your Favorite Sacred Songs.
That is great.
Thank you. I call it 12 Divine Inspirational Songs guaranteed to lift your spirits.
No puppet.
Yeah, so that little piece of audio right there coming out of the break was when William Pace joined my radio show in Dayton, Ohio in 1998. And joining us now, Jake, live from Dayton, Ohio. Live to tape. We're just taping this, William. It's the great William Pace.
Yeah.
The man himself.
Good to be with you.
Thanks for joining us.
You bet.
William Pace. It's been so long, my friend. It's great to see you.
Yes, it has. It's good to see you too, Dan.
Doesn't he look great?
Well, thank you. Do you think I look a little thinner?
Yes. You look a little thinner. I know you were always concerned about your weight gain or / weight loss. So this is my partner, Jake.
Hello.
He is
Hello, Jake.
on the
Nice
top
to meet
there.
you.
And we're here with Blake as well, and my good friends Mike and Julie. They're the two on the couch. It's kind of a
Hi, William. Glad to meet
Hi,
you.
William.
a May-December romance that Mike and Julie have going.
You could say that.
But we'll deal with that
Okay.
on another time. I mean, it's it's the way things are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how's Ohio?
Well, Ohio is Ohio. And you know what? Ohio is Ohio. And, I've learned to count it all as joy. And so much time has passed since we originally met. Well, we won't say how many years ago it might have been. But I've come to see that, I've grown in the show. And the show is taking on a new direction. And from the early days, you were talking about the hairstyle. I felt I had to create a look. And I definitely created a look, and as well as the tuxedo, that was a look, it set me apart. And but we have had, big names on the show. We've had B.B. King on the show, Jimmy Walker on the show, Miss Patty Austin's been on the show. A lot of big name people.
Mr. T. Dan McDowell.
Yeah,
And didn't you have Congressman Tony Hall on at one point?
Congressman Tony Hall, a whole host of people have been on the show. And what people don't know, there's a story behind my show. In the early 90s and late 80s, I was singing all across the country, singing with orchestras and concert bands and nightclubs and so forth. And everywhere I went, people told me I was photogenic and I ought to be on TV. And I said, well, I did major in communications, mass media. It was really, I double majored, music, voice performance, and communications, mass media. It was just by accident. But now I look back over my life, I think it wasn't an accident. I was supposed to be in broadcasting. And more importantly, that I have a message for people. I didn't realize that until, I just, in the early days, wanted to be on because I wanted to be a celebrity, da 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 da. But then there's an interesting story I must tell you. It was in the early days when I met Dan in Dayton, Ohio, and we started doing inspirational moments on the show. Sometimes we read some scriptures that empowered people. And later, several weeks later on that show, there was a lady chasing me down the aisle in Cub's grocery store in Trotwood, which is a suburb of where I am. And she said, I saved her life. And I said, what are you talking about? And she said, one night, she wanted to take herself out. She didn't have a gun. She went in the kitchen thinking that she could find a knife or something. And something told her to turn the little TV on that was on the counter. And there was William Pace.
Wow.
And this day, I don't know what I said. I don't know whether it was, we had started some inspirational moments on the show. Sometimes we would read some scripture. Something I said made her not take her life.
It wasn't put down the knife. It was something a little deeper than that.
Down. She put the knife down and it was in that moment that God said, no, this is not about you trying to be some celebrity. This is about you touching the lives of people.
I remember
that really is.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I remember a similar story with me though. When I turned you on, I was about to go to sleep, but instead I turned you on and then I stayed awake and watched. So it's kind of it's
pretty much the same
analogous to that other story.
You're staying the course.
Yeah. You know what you are, William? Yeah. I remember this from watching your show and watching some of the old clips that you sent us. It was a tractor beam. Like I could not take my eyes off of you. And I feel very similar right now to the way your show must be, because you never know what you would be doing. You might be interviewing a big celebrity like Representative Tony...
Congressman Tony Hall.
Congressman Tony Hall. Or you might be singing some Pavarotti.
Yes. And when I don't sing on the show, people call in and say, we didn't hear any music today. What's with that?
Yeah. And they're picking up the knife.
Got to give the people what they want.
Yeah.
So, and we do.
That's awesome. That's what we're trying to do here on our show. Maybe not specifically save people's lives, but provide a positive message.
Inspire.
Inspire for sure. Yeah. Stay the course. But back to creating the look, how often did you have to get something done to your hair? So you're on TV, you got to stay looking nice, but as the hair being part of the look, how often did you have to do something with it?
Well, I said in one of my concerts one time, it isn't easy trying to be tall, dark, and handsome. It's a job.
Trust me, I know.
It's a job. And but then I said, well, folks, I have to keep trying. I can't give up. And that got a big laugh from the audience. But yeah, it takes, it was a look,
Yep.
I go in between the Jerry curl and the Wave Nouveau look and all of that. And it's attracted a lot of attention. But for the most part, I'm afraid to change it because I tell you why. We were doing a promotion for the show and this billboard. And somebody came up with the idea that they were going to put my name in fire and have that up on the billboard. And I said, oh, no, we can't do that. My fans will think I've turned to drugs or something. So
don't want that.
We had to change that whole thing and just put nice big fonts, William Pace Show.
See, I thought you were going to say they would spell out William Pace Show out of like Jerry curl hair. You just kind of spell it with letters like that's better than fire.
Yeah, that would have been another look,
Mm-hmm.
But what people tell me they like about the show, and we receive letters all over the place, and this is what has made me capitalize on keeping the show based in Midwest, but having it syndicated throughout. Because I'm afraid that I might lose what the viewers like about me. They say they like the Midwestern charm with a cosmopolitan flair.
Dan McDowell.
Yeah. That's what we love about our friend Dan too. He kind of has those same characteristics.
Midwest.
William, we loved watching the tape of when Dan went on your show. What was that? What do we say? 25 years ago, whatever it was.
Wasn't that a riot?
I was wondering what you remember.
Turned into a zoo.
Yeah, it turned into a zoo. What do you remember from your whole Dan McDowell experience back in the day?
Oh, I remember great things, and I treasure them too, because as I said in one show, it's rare in this industry that you find one on-air personality willing to promote another on-air personality. That is a rare thing. And that he befriended me. You must know why I feel so passionate about that. Because let me tell you, when I came back from singing on the road and people said I needed to be in television and da-da-da-da-da-da-da, I went to the stations and they like the story in The Wizard of Oz. They told me, go get the Wicked Witch broomstick, come back with a list of sponsors and yada, 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 yada. And they didn't do anything. So I said to them, the stations, I tell you what I'm going to do, fellas. I'm going to start my own production company.
Yes.
William Pace Productions. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to form William Pace Advertising. And the advertising agency will be the one that will represent the William Pace Show. And we'll just pay you for your airtime. That's how I came to be.
Mm-hmm. Innovator.
So you don't see problems, you see solutions.
Yes. He stays the course.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That stay the course has been a precious mantra from God, You just never know what's going to happen at any time, like today, and you just stay the course.
Right. Now your look is fantastic, and like Jake said, that stands out. It's changed throughout the years. But let's get to know the man behind the look. Let's get to know William Pace himself. Who William Pace? Who are your growing up? Who are your role models? Who inspired you to become the man, besides me? Who has inspired you to become the man that we see before us today, William Pace?
Well, as a kid, there used to be, in the early days of broadcasting, there used to be the 50-50 Club, or what was called the Ruth Lyon Show. And she was on in Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio. And people would take the bus to go to the Ruth Lyon Show, and they would have years of people on the waiting list for years to get in to the Ruth Lyon Show. And it was sort of like a eclectic mix of what my show is. She'd have people singing on the program, then she'd have celebrities on there, then there'd be local personalities, and then there would be featured stories. And
nice piece.
Somewhere that sowed a seed in me to do that. And as a kid, my parents would always tell you, I told you to sit down and hush up. And that was a sign there that I would be in some form of talking in the public's eye, because they had a hard time trying to get me to hush up.
Yeah.
And so, but did I answer your question, Dan?
Ruth Lyons is very interesting, but I do know that elsewhere in media that you used to be a big fan of. You used to be a big fan of Oprah, at least. Perhaps you've turned on Oprah over the years.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. She has inspired many people. And I want to use my platform to inspire people, to empower people, to encourage people, to help people to have their best life. In fact, I've started the WP Foundation for a Better Life. Because
sign me up. Better life?
What did you say?
You can give people a better life with this foundation?
I
said sign me up.
Okay, I will. That's the whole idea, because we want to make sure that people, if you don't have the best life, maybe you can have a better life.
It's so simple.
You see?
I love it. Yeah.
And that's what we do. So we are a 501c3, and that's another part of the mission. And, so much, it's about, the word says, if you, without vision, we will perish. And I've been given a lot of vision. I don't know really that I've lasted 30 years on the air, doing it this way, never having a television station at the helm behind me, had to executive produce and direct. I can tell you interesting stories. All the stars that came on, it's great if you've got an ABC network or you got a local affiliate that you can say. But I had to say, when I was negotiating the interview with B.B. King, with the road manager, who else do you know on the sheer strength of their name? I'm William Pace, and I have a show in Dayton, Ohio. And when B.B. King comes here, I would like to interview him on the show. How many people who knew the name William Pace? No network affiliate, no local affiliate, nothing. And so I didn't know until that day that when he was in town at the Memorial Hall, that I had landed the interview. And boy, was that, we had to scramble and all of that, get the camera people and all of that. And we were told that we would only have 5 minutes.
Oh, you hate that. A tight 5. They always tell you that.
Oh, it was something. We had to get the dressing room set up, the lights and all of that. And he walked off the stage from his first half and sat down. And it was one of my best interviews.
You killed it.
It's interesting to know it's interesting to know what you can do when you are down on the final moment. There were no second takes. Yep. And that's up on the channel too. You can watch that interview with B.B. King.
Where can people see these interviews right now? Let's promote what you have going on right now.
Just go to the channel, William Pace Show, 5 words, William Pace Show, YouTube. And that'll pull it all up.
So now you're broadcasting to the world.
Well, it's
you realize the world, the web is on the whole world.
Yes.
Yeah,
wide.
It's interesting that I was interviewed a author of the book called Child Care Before Daycare, and she's from Charlotte, North Carolina. Well, someone took that show and had a big gathering and played that show in front of a lot of people, and they kept saying, "William, who? Where is he? Midwest," so you can see the vision that God has for me. You just have to stay the course. You can't.
Yes.
There are a lot of things to beat you down, and you just have to defy it.
And I just want to be clear that Oprah, while great, never had B.B. King or Congressman Tony Hall on, and you have. So maybe you have a leg up on her a little bit. How about that?
Well, I take that as a compliment.
Yes, sir.
I think the world of Oprah, I think what she has done, how she has used television to empower people, that is what I want to do.
And she gave away. She used to give away cars, and you gave away chocolate.
Yeah, fine chocolate.
Esther Price fine chocolate. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do remember that. And did you ever see that show with Jimmy Walker?
Of course.
Of course.
I gave him a box of Esther Price, totally unscripted, like the Dan McDowell with the diet and all of that. He took that box of candy and said, "Oh, white and black folks can have this." And he just made it comical and totally unscripted.
Because it had dark chocolate and light chocolate, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the wit of Jimmy Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Dan
And then the interview with Mr. T, I tell you, boy, I was a nervous wreck after that interview because, the things that you thought viewers would want to know, I would ask the question he would go somewhere else with it. And
Mr.
that
T.
went on for the whole interview.
Classic Mr. T, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here again, what people don't know, how did William Pace get these stars to come on a local show? No network affiliate support. No local station affiliate support.
It's kind of like us landing William Pace without being on a network.
That's right.
It's huge.
We are on YouTube.
Well,
Yeah, see, that's an entirely different look. I like it, though. I like all your looks.
Which look are you talking about?
We were just looking at a picture of you with Mr. T when you were wearing the tuxedo.
With the tuxedo and the ponytail?
Yeah, that hair is something. Your hair is something to be envied.
Nice little corsage, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like you're a man of size. Looks like you tower over Mr. T.
I don't think Mr. T's that tall, right?
Oh, really?
How tall are you, William?
I'm 6'1".
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm 6'1".
That's not too shabby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you're looking clean up there with Mr. T.
Yeah.
Well, I was just glad to land that interview. Anytime you can get a celebrity to come on the show, and it just gives the show more credibility. And I'm in it for the long haul. So I'll be doing the show probably longer than Sally Jesse Raphael altogether. And what is she
Random
now
stray.
in her 80s? So, it's just in me. What has happened over the years, and when I look back at the shows, when I first started, it's like, okay, I'm going to do this. I like this. But now I have inhabited the call. I just have become a part of the plan for my life. And so it takes a little while to figure it out. There were some detours that I wished I hadn't made. But, then God shut down all the detours and he said, this is the call in your life and you're going to stand in it.
Okay.
Boom.
So you have inspired us, and I want to show you how you've done so. So can we do this, Video Man? Can we play the William Pace Open to his show? Just so this is not our Open, but the William Pace Open. Do you know what number that is?
It should be one.
Of your cuts? Oh, okay. So this is your Open, just for those who are just tuning in, which is silly.
Yes,
because
I noticed that.
So this is
I
your
noticed it.
this is the Open to your show, okay?
The William Pace Show through the years has been
familiar
a
with
beacon
this, right?
of light in the Midwest, Yeah. taking you to such destinations as the Navy Pier,
Look, you're on a boat.
the Palmer Hilton Palace Hotel,
You're in a
the German
restaurant.
Village, the Showboat Majestic
German Festival.
Theater, the Ohio Village, and the Krohn Conservatory.
You're at
There's always
looking at
somebody
flowers.
cooking in the kitchen. On the William
Nice
Pace
pastry.
Show. Some of the biggest stars, entertainers,
There he is.
and
There's
political
B.B.
figures
King.
like B.B. King, Jimmy Walker, Bob Carlisle, Patty Austin, Mr. T, Whitley Phibbs, and Congressman Tony Hall have appeared
Tony
on
Hall.
the William Pace Show.
How in the
Now,
hell do
without
you land
further
Tony
ado,
Hall?
we
So
proudly present the William Pace Show.
you have inspired us to create a new Open for our show. And our show is called The Dumb Zone. Do you have the Open for our show? Can we play that for William? Hold on, let's
To the DFW Metroplex, taking you to such destinations as Above Dan's Garage, the Alamo Draft House, Deuce Robinson's Family Farm, Paris, and several rich people's homes. There's always plenty of Kemp spins. Yeah, on the Dumb Zone podcast. Some of the biggest stars, entertainers, and political figures like Drop Beth, Ted Emmerich, Haralabob Valgaris, Julie Dobbs, Sarah Heppola, Quincy Carter's voicemail, and former city council member Philip Kingston have appeared on the Dumb Zone podcast. Now, without further ado, we proudly present the Dumb Zone podcast, a no puppet production coming to you live via tape from the heart of DFW.
How you like that?
What do you think?
Oh, I love it. I've loved it. So if I have inspired you, that's a good thing.
You continue to inspire to this very day, William Pace. And
Well, that's what I want to do.
yeah, and we appreciate. Would you like to leave us with any kind of a song? I know you used to sing for our radio show back in Dayton.
Oh, yes.
That's what I was hoping.
Yeah.
You were hoping.
I was
what now?
hoping that I could hear you sing. Yeah, I've heard a lot about your singing.
Boom,
I was
boom,
hoping to
boom,
hear
boom, boom.
something.
Okay, well, how about me singing the theme song for Dan McDowell's radio program here in Dayton?
What was that?
Say what?
Go ahead. I'm
Okay.
sorry I interrupted you.
Okay. You're making a first-time call on the radio. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Dan McDowell Show. That was the jingle.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Wow.
And then he made that the jingle on his radio show.
That's right.
Remember that, Dan?
Yeah. Hey, would you do this for us? Because I know you know this song very well. So we're called the Dumb Zone. I'm sorry
Kinda
that we're
funny,
called
right?
that. It's not a great name.
They're not really dumb though.
We got sued and stuff. It's a long
joke.
story, William.
Yeah, and we're about we're about to have our 1-year anniversary, or I guess you would call it a birthday. Would you sing "Happy Birthday" to the Dumb Zone, and then we can play it on?
got it.
You don't have to.
Yay!
Okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to the Dumb Zone. Happy birthday to you.
Woo! Fantastic.
William, thanks for joining us. We'll do this again sometime, I promise.
You're a
you
sweet,
so
sweet
much.
man. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Great to meet you.
Okay, take care. Good to talk to you all.
All right, thanks so much.
Bye, William.
The great,
I love you.
William Pace.
Who you voting for? Did you get the facts?
Wow. I'm a little starstruck.
That from our Tuesday, July 2nd Patreon episode with Mike Rhyner and Julie Dobbs. If you haven't subscribed yet, or maybe you're already a subby and may know someone who is looking for something to listen to specifically over the next week or two, remember we have a 7-day free trial that may just get you through these dry, docking days of summer. All right, we had an MBR on Monday, and to the guy who pre-complained about this being on the wrap-up and having to hear these things for a third time, just skip ahead to the next segment, you douchebag.
For the monthly business review, our old friend Grady sent this last month, which would be June, like June 2nd. He sent this.
Well, pick a lane and bless my star. Mr. Jones's MBR. People listen near and far to Blake Jones's MBR.
Business review.
Which I thought was great.
All right.
By the
Yeah.
way, going to see Grady this Thursday
Are
yeah?
you really? I think I am too.
in Hearst.
Are you going to see the work?
I'm only there for Grady.
Grady Spencer?
Yeah. Playing a 4th of July thing.
Yeah.
So he sent us that right away. Now, last week I got an email from Rob Schindler. You know him from making many of our opens. He's also great.
Wednesday.
And he said, boy, I hope no one else has sent you something. He, in fact, called out Jameson by name, said, I hope Jameson hasn't sent you anything. So he got that hope. The strategy was correct there, that Jameson did not send something, but Grady did. But here is what Rob Schindler sent us.
It's that time of the month. It's time for the Dumb Zone's monthly business review. And now, the king of all note takers, here's Blake Jones.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
I like that too.
I like them both. Why not have a rotation?
We might have to rotation. I'm on board with that. Anyway,
here's Blake.
Yeah.
All right, let's review the month of June.
Now, can you reset what this bit is?
Do we have to do this every time?
I'm just kidding. I just like trolling you from notes of our former employer.
Rob also sent me a couple extra things, so rather than me tell you what I'm doing, how's this?
Then
Things Dan and Jake want.
Okay. Well, we are so overproduction. I love it.
Yeah. Let's go back to June 6th. Things Dan or Jake want here in the June MBR. Dan wants Jake to assemble all the videos that Jake watches on his buddy's trip. So the movies, the YouTube videos, everything that you guys huddle together and watch, Dan wants that so he can go through it.
I feel like a big player on this year's trip is going to be this slap league they got going. You just watch a guy slap the ever-loving shit out of another dude. And one of them's usually from, like, Norway.
They got a nickname.
Yeah, and then he always gets bounced by a guy who's, like, looks like me. It's awesome. But, yeah, it's I'll put something together for you.
Okay.
Yeah,
do they have what's it called? The SL, the NSL, National Slap League?
It's something like that. Dana White runs it.
Okay, NSL, let's say it is.
Of course he does.
Is there a WNSL? Because I feel like I'd...
You'd rather watch that?
Now, it would be really funny... What would be really funny is if a trans person got involved in that competition.
That's not fair.
Get hormoned up and then just...
June 17th.
That might be my breaking point, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, this gender thing, I don't know. We should... You gotta
maybe they got
a
point here.
Yeah.
June 17th, Dan wants to say Vester for investors.
No, we're not doing that.
Okay.
You just said...
Rotation.
We're doing that.
Vester.
June 18th, Dan wants a side hustle like Jake and Blake. And I think we settled on one.
I do, man, and I was upset like Rob this morning.
Oh! Jameson reports that, in fact, they do have a women's slap league.
Okay.
Oh!
That's excellent. That's excellent. Well, I mean, I know they have one that on sites I can't access anymore. But,
yeah. Thanks, Governor. Yeah, you.
So I was talking to Rob this morning, Video Man, and he's going to be out of town, and then he's got to go. He's like going to Utah to set up. Like he's got a side gig. Everybody is making more money.
We
than
are his
me.
side gig.
Yeah, we essentially are his side gig.
Yeah. So
you could sell candles. Or something like the wives did.
Well, all I know how to do is talk. I can't do anything else, so I might have to just start a competing podcast.
I will sue your pants off.
Boy, I wonder who our lawyers would go support. They'd probably support you.
You'd probably have Philip would ride with you, but the rest, maybe Matt. But I got Liz and Frank in the pocket.
I'd call the Cumulus lawyers. Right? They can all be bought. Lawyers aren't. They'll just work for whoever.
Well, they're in-house counsel, but still.
They'd probably prefer to be paid.
What was the idea we
also.
gave him?
Dan's digitization.
Oh, yeah.
Where you can digitize your stuff or get a digit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, that's good. But I need you to have a physical storefront. Dan's digitation. Digitize your digit. You walk in.
You need the happy reception lady from Jake's thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where she can say okie dokie.
Okie dokie, artichoke.
And then 2 on June 20th, Dan wants to be bought out and Dan wants to be hooked up.
Bought out does seem like a sweet deal.
Yeah, like you're paid a bunch of money to not do what you're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go.
Okay, it seems like there's more production here.
Time capsule.
Okay,
Yeah.
time capsule.
I got a stinger for each one. June 7th, Jake doesn't think the Mavs will be back in the finals in the next couple of years.
I mean, that's just playing the chalk, right?
Yeah, it's very hard to do what they did.
Yeah, I
I
mean-
think it was your point.
Look at the Rangers.
Tell me about it.
Although, Wyatt Langford last night?
Hold on. What did Wyatt Langford do last night?
It's incredible.
What did Wyatt Langford do?
What Wyatt Langford did.
What did he do last night? I'm so glad I saw this fact this morning, Blake, because I knew this was going to come up.
All right, he couldn't have hit from the cycle. I would have heard about that. He threw a no-hitter.
He's an outfielder.
I know.
No,
That's why it's such a note.
No, are you super sure you would have heard about it if he hit for the cycle?
He hit for the cycle?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. I should have just guessed that.
First rookie to do it in Ranger history or something like that.
Huh. How's Seager's arm?
They came back negative.
X-rays were negative.
Okay,
Thank you
nice.
for asking. The same day, Jake says Paul Skeens will have Tommy John by 2026.
Again,
these are just things to monitor.
Okay,
that you've said.
I think we're playing the chalk.
And then another thing that Jake said that I really hope is true. Jake, June 20th, Jake thinks somebody will put us in their will.
I could see somebody doing a bit like that. I really could.
Now, what do we get?
I don't know. Maybe
headphones.
$690.
Pool table.
We take it.
Yeah, I think that's possible. Go do it now.
A foosball table for our new cool.
Yeah, man.
Place.
Here,
We're going to build our own little office
with the Danettes. I actually like the idea of us stealing the Dan Patrick bit and calling ourselves the Danettes. Dan of the Danettes.
I'm not even familiar with that.
Dan Patrick calls his crew, yeah.
Huh.
The Danettes.
Nah, that's no good. We're not. I was going to say we're not stealing anything, but I'm not going to say that.
Come on.
We will absolutely steal.
Tip spins.
Jesus Christ.
Isn't that cool?
It is cool.
504 total.
504.
You hit a big one, which we'll get to here in a minute. But a couple of the new ones that have been added. Carl Everett.
Well, the main one is that he believes that human beings buried dinosaur bones to fool people into not believing in religion.
Like dinosaurs never existed.
Yeah, dinosaurs never existed. And correct, who was the guy who went up after JD? Like went into the stands after a game when the crowd was gone and something like that.
I
right?
don't think it was him, but I don't know.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Stephen Collins.
That's the Seventh Heaven Dad.
Oh yeah, okay. I just call him Seventh Heaven Dad. Yeah, he has like a 3-decade career as a pederast that came out after Seventh Heaven ended, but it was bad and it had been going on for a very long time. Perhaps when he was the dad on the show of a Christian Family, where he was the pastor.
He was also in Star Trek the movie.
Awesome.
That's Dan Spin. Nerd Spin.
This is a funny one. Wayfair.
Yeah, for like a weekend, this is kind of in like the QAnon, somewhat QAnon, somewhat like Epstein, which are somewhat related. For like a weekend, people thought that Wayfair was actually shipping children. The furniture company, and that they had like code names for which furniture sets would get you like which kid. And I gotta be honest, there was about 5 minutes where I bought it. It's like a Friday night. I'm laying in bed. I'm like, holy shit.
When did this come out? Recently?
It was a few years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Like at the height of Q, probably.
Just this company will ship you a kid.
Dude, you just
So it was the height of Q years ago? Wasn't now?
It's not now.
Okay.
No. You just got to know some like CFO or some analyst at their company like wakes up on Sunday morning. He's like, let's check the financials. Get my cup of coffee here. And he's
what?
Like, what the?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, because of this rumor. What? How?
Yeah. He's like, what do we do?
And the Kim Spin list had a very, very special moment this month. As you hit a milestone I'm sure you never thought you could reach.
No.
I never thought you could either. Honestly, when I started this list, I thought we'd get to like 60.
They all said
couldn't do it.
Yeah.
It couldn't be done.
Right. But you hit Kim Spin number 500 earlier this month, and here it is. This was live on the show.
He's certainly never been like a headline player. And also, I don't know if this is risky because I don't know if we have the production ready. And it's probably already on the list. But also, Deadspin had a story back when he was in college that he had an abortion contract with his girlfriend.
A contract? Explain that.
Reddick has agreed that once Lopez has terminated said pregnancy and has provided medical proof of said termination satisfactory to Reddick, included but not limited to direct access to her medical files and records of the clinic, that, like, basically he wanted her to get an abortion, but he made her sign a contract that said, you got to get an abortion. Like, you can't just tell me, hey, I'll do it. Like, there was a contract presented.
Like
and I believe he
pre-sex?
No,
Wait.
Post. What do we have here?
In the annals of time,
celebrities have done some pretty fucked up shit. Jake has taken it upon himself to catalog those dalliances and short-sighted events deep inside the recesses of his tiny ferret brain to never be forgotten and be accessible at the snap of a finger. You have now witnessed Kip Spin number 500.
Wow. What a moment, Kevin. KT, you got to be here for this? Hold on, here comes the cake.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Let us never forget the abortion contract.
Yeah. I really hope that one wasn't already on the list.
Nope.
Two is in there, huh? Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, so that was
means a lot to
June
me.
25th. Kim Spin number 500. What a moment.
I like that open too. F'd up S equals dalliances.
Yeah, like that's not really. It's kind of a normal happens to people.
So there we go. There's Kim Spin number 500.
Congrats.
Let's go to notes from the show. June 3rd, Jake's flag football team lost their first game since the Trump administration. And that's just fueled you guys.
Yeah, it has.
When you say it like that.
Norm.
Yeah, that's great.
I didn't know how to.
Yeah, no, the combination of coming off of our first loss and it being a Monday, the first back half of the year, I'm as locked in as I've ever been. The motivation has never been higher.
Okay.
You guys are doing well now?
I mean, this is kind of a little dead period here. You got a holiday. Give you a couple weeks off, but I like the heat, so I like playing in the summer.
June 3rd, Jake had a Volkswagen Passat seat warmer that burned his pants.
That 100% happened. It 100% happened. And that's why when you throw that thing in the mail that's like, hey, we got a recall, which is bullshit anyways, because when you take your car in for the recall, have you ever done this?
Yeah.
Like I called once, Ford sent me something, and I'm like, hey, I need it. And this is where they do it everywhere. It has nothing to do with Ford. They're like, well, it's going to take at least 2 days. I'm like, oh, okay. So in this situation, are you provided a rental? And they were like, no.
Yeah.
Like, well, what am I supposed to do?
Give me a Mustang.
So in that case, I kept getting letters from Volkswagen, and I was like, whatever, recall. And then my leg caught on fire.
The same day, we learned that Jake will eat half of a sandwich diagonally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not pre-cut.
No.
Like if you cut it diagonally, then you eat that. That's okay. But just to eat your sandwich, it just seems weird.
Yeah, he'll go from a corner to a corner, which was weird to me.
I'm basically cutting it with my mandible.
And then, yeah,
Gabe.
the sandwich, a small sandwich, too much. You'll get to the rest of it later.
Yeah.
It's not like a Eatsy's big giant hoagie. It's a teeny little
it's
peanut butter and jelly. Yeah.
Then you save it. Ugh. Same day, Dan hates the lyrics to Lonely Boy.
I forgot about that.
It doesn't make any sense. It's illogical. It says in the summer of 53, he was born, and then it was like the summer of 55. They get a sister, and he's really against it, and it's like he's 2. He has no idea.
Yeah.
It's like if you presented little Brooks with a sibling right now, as if Brooks would run away crying. Like he doesn't know. He's an idiot.
That takes about another year and a half.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It does happen eventually, but just the lyrics are not logical.
June 4th, this was a day where Dan was mad at people at the gym, and he gave us 3 reasons. 1, a lady was walking down the stairs the wrong way.
There's
it's very clear.
A handle in the middle, whatever, a thing in the middle of the stairs.
Handrail.
The handrail, yeah, and so it's delineated. Yeah, so I start walking up the right side, but then here she is, and I'm like, okay, I got to kind of go back.
Yeah. People weren't spaced out on the bikes.
Right. There was 3 of them right against each other.
Interesting situation I saw on...
Or they were spaced out by 3, so I had to pick one to sit. Like, you could have gone every 2, and I'd have an easy place to sit.
I'm not bike guy, but I went on Saturday, and there's one part of the Grapevine one where there's 3 bikes, and a guy sat on the middle one. And I'm like, oh, man, I thought about you. I'm like, what would I do if I wanted to get a little spin in here? It's a tough spot.
And then you didn't like the teenagers that will just loiter on the machines.
God
bless. Dude, it's bro workout summer. It's really because kids are home for college.
It's the worst. When
And
you
they're
notice
just they have nothing to do all day.
Yeah.
And that's all they're doing is
being more fit than you.
sitting on but on the one machine. Like I'm only got one thing I'm going to do, and I got to sit and wait a half hour to get on it.
June 6th, Dan learns that people roll under on toilet paper because of cats.
Yeah.
That's after I corrected somebody's
you were
at their house.
You were on a mission.
I thought I was helping him.
That's such a power move.
I'm a good guy.
You go grab your apple out of the fridge.
June 7th. Dan says Daniel is better to say at a Chinese restaurant because Dan can turn into a million other names.
In fact, anywhere I order now. If you hear me order somewhere, I will order, and they'll be like, "What's the name?" Daniel.
Yeah.
Okay.
It always works. There's no thing you can think my name is.
I've
if I
never
say
tried
Daniel.
that because Jacob is pretty straightforward, but I get a lot of weird stuff with Jake. I've got Jigs before.
Okay.
Use Daniel. Feel free.
Thanks, man.
June 17th, we learned that Dan and Jake sleep in eye masks.
Yeah.
It's great.
I haven't seen mine in a couple days, and I've definitely been able to tell.
Is that common?
Probably in the laundry.
Are people
I don't know.
sleeping
I
in
mean,
eye masks?
I like it. I don't know, dude. You gotta need total darkness. I learned from
I
LeBron.
need it. I need it.
Yeah, I got a little those pods that guy that we got, those Bose sleep pods. I use those.
Again, we're at the VFW.
I know they were in trenches, but I'm.
You need your little eye mask to sleep. And your little calm
I could have done World War II easy.
Yeah,
as long as I had a Calm app. And, just the right amount of water. Yeah, and I need a protein drink in the morning.
And you need to sit down to pee.
We are such pussies.
June 17th, Chappie couldn't help himself but laugh at the boys dancing at their recital.
Yep. That's going to become an annual tradition for as long as...
Yeah, don't take him to the gymnastics recital.
No, I think do take him to the recital. June 20th, Dan's mom texted him to let him know that someone on Master Chef was from South Lake.
Right? She followed it up with telling me that he lost.
I love mom texts.
Spoiled it.
June 24th, Mark Cuban made Jake use Cyberdust to book him, which still baffles me.
Didn't mind. He was trying to get it off the ground, and if I had a communication app and someone wanted to contact me, I'd be like, do it this way.
Dust me.
Sure.
That's me.
June 25th, Dan wishes he had a cooler last name for things like Tepperpalooza.
Yeah, that one's perfect, though.
Tepper?
Yeah, there's just not much you can do to beat that.
But McDowell just can't. It's nothing.
But I don't think Kemp is either. Kempapalooza, I guess that kind
Kemp
of works.
spin is cool.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
you just can't do
Actually,
anything
you're right.
with
My name's
last
awesome.
name. Yeah.
June 27th, Jake forgot Chappie's birthday.
God dang it.
Which is weird because I saw it in my phone.
Oh, you have it in your calendar?
Oh, yeah.
And did you wish him a happy birthday?
No, because I knew Jake would.
Shut up.
I would never miss my dad's. Actually, I can't even say it. But you know what I used to do with my mom or my dad early in my radio career? I would call them on the air. And so we could have just called Chappie.
I know.
Okay, because then they care more about that. Like, oh, my, I'm on the air. That's a bigger deal. And that would be my whole present. If it wasn't from the public radio station I worked at in college, one of their mugs. One Christmas, everybody got a WOUB mug.
I hooked my dad up with a bunch of merch, and I wasn't even able to call that a gift. I should have been able to, back time that. Right? I get him, shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
That was in, February.
I think he would appreciate you saying that, too, because he is...
a frugal man.
Yeah.
June 28th, Dan got a new Mac, and I don't think you knew the problems that were headed your way.
Look, they're very slight. You know there's going to be little bumps in the road. Everything's fine. But it did take up a lot of my weekend when I could have been... I mean, cancer could be cured by now.
Sure.
Had I been focused on that this weekend.
Sure. Time for my favorite.
Jake has a buddy.
Oh, my God.
We got a fat list this month.
I will hustle through it.
Jake has a buddy who snuck out of Jake's house at a sleepover, and Jake didn't go because he was scared. Jake called him after they snuck out to tell him that their parents knew about it and they had to come back, and they did because Jake was bored.
It's a low point in my life. It's a low point in my life. I was scared. I was very, very scared of authority at that time, even though his parents would not have really been that mad. But I was like, no, man, I don't know. What if we get caught? What if we get caught?
Especially weird coming from the man with the points for sex list in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? You weren't always this badass that we see in front of us.
No, but really it was more like stuff like that. It was like, it's at school, whatever. But sneaking out at night, man, I was terrified if my mom found out that happened. Like, I would have been in a world of trouble. But so that's fine that I didn't go. But then the fact that I was like, dude, your dad's up. Y'all got to get back here.
Yeah,
just an all-time low moment.
Jake has a buddy who was a female who worked at Chuck E. Cheese and permitted him to buy pizza to take home.
You hit that Chuck E. Cheese right there by Grapevine Mills Mall, my man.
Jake has a buddy who is Travis Heim who will respond to negative reviews on Yelp.
Dude, how does that even count? We all know Travis. We were talking to... What other restaurant person were we talking to?
Adam Romo.
No.
Jay
Jarrier.
It doesn't matter. Whatever. You
guys John Schnatter.
No, it was not Papa John.
Jake has a buddy who sent him a video of Dave Portnoy leaving Game 4 with 8 minutes left.
How are these... How do you want me to say it
because
so that they don't end up on the...
Jake has a buddy who doesn't ski but stays in the house with them.
Dave Portnoy.
Jake has a buddy who has a Sprinter van.
I don't think they own it, but yes, they travel in it as a band.
Jake has a buddy who is a local Grapevine dad, and he saw him sampling alcohol at noon at the grocery store. And Jake has a buddy who nailed a girl in the small room. All right, Roseanne's, we added one.
Who knew Roseanne?
For a long time, the only Roseanne on the Roseanne's list was Travis Tritt.
Yeah.
But now you've added Marge Schott.
Shot. Yeah. Look it up. She's a Roseanne.
So now we have two.
Email me with your Roseannes, male or female. Just kind of looks like Roseanne-ish.
Dan wanted to start this list, our ball sacks.
Yeah.
Dan bought the female Russell Westbrook.
Deep fake.
It's so good. Look it up.
I fell for Hawk Tua girl being a teacher and getting fired.
Yep.
And then the big one. Dan thought Tim McMahon was selling MacBooks on Twitter.
And it was one day after I had bought this, I was like,
damn,
damn.
I gotta return it.
I could have got one for $600. And I'd be helping out my buddy Tim.
In his new business idea, where he sells MacBooks at an 80% off price. That one's awesome.
And then finally, Dan's fights with his wife.
Okay.
June 17th, how many times do you say hi a day?
It's a good question.
It was like her third time, and it was 10 a.m.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
Yeah, I'm still here.
I've lived here with you for 10 years, yeah.
And then she hung up a Wonder Woman poster in the den without asking you.
It was a gift.
I got to say, though, Jake said something last week that I nodded and agreed. He's like, kind of like the Wonder Woman poster.
Yeah,
like,
it does
fits.
fit.
Yeah.
It feels good. And maybe because I told that story, now it makes like it's a thing that you want. It's a destination now. You want to go see it.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I'm really happy with it being there.
Yeah.
But it's only because of the cool story I told.
And it was
you can't give her a single
No.
now.
and it's either going to be hung there or in the trash. So that's good that you rescued it from
Could
the
have taken
garbage.
it to the studio.
No, I was saying she got it out of the trash. Like it was just going to be.
And had she forgot and she just gave it to me, it would be in my trash at some point and not right away.
Yeah.
Like I'd have to keep it in the closet for a while. But yeah, she just took it upon herself to hang it up. And it actually looks good there. I like it.
There's your June.
Not totally. Only because
this is actually happening.
Intern Rachel gave me a few things, some MBR notes for Blake. Because if you notice in MBR, nobody ever mentions Blake.
Yeah, nobody reviews his business.
I got none.
June 24th, Blake thought the grid is messed up because of NFL cheerleaders.
Yeah, because they're all flocking to Texas trying to make the Dallas Cowboys cheerleading squad, and then they're just squatting and taking our grid.
Taking our grid?
Yeah.
June 20th, Blake's favorite book is All the Light We Cannot See.
For now. Until Dan reads it and poo-poos all over it, then I'll change it to something else.
I am going to read it.
I'm not.
You shouldn't.
And June 17th, during Blake's guys trip, he watched strictly military movies, and he loved the fan in the house so much that he and his buddy looked up the model of the fan.
Yeah.
That's weird.
The airflow in there was immaculate. You couldn't walk into the room without noticing.
Hey, am I the only one? Oh, you got to close. Hit it.
Well, pick a lane and bless my star. Mr. Jones is MBR. People listen.
That's a good close, right?
It's great close. Blake Jones.
Maybe we could use them both.
MBR.
Sure.
Okay. Y'all know this show's called The Dumb Zone, so I gotta present something to you guys. Does everyone else flip their fans?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I know you're supposed to, like in the winter.
Well, because I would never use the fan in the winter, even if, I just don't use it. But
it'll
the airflow, yes.
Push the heat down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
And in the summer, you're supposed to pull it
Yes.
up.
Yep.
Yeah. So the problem is the fan in the living room at the Rent House, it's going the wrong direction, and there's no ladder there. So we just don't have a fan.
I mean, it feels like it still probably affects the room in some positive way.
It does not.
Oh, all right.
It does absolutely nothing.
Oh.
So I don't know. Like, I gotta borrow a ladder or something.
Okay.
I just learned about this a few days ago, and I'm like, holy hell!
That there's that little switch.
Yeah,
that
I can
goes
see
the other
it.
way. Yeah.
Hey, Klay Thompson signed with the Mavs.
Close followers of the show will catch the Dan's Other Jobs in there, as we may discuss Dan in World War II coming up in next month's MBR. May have also caught Grady Spencer in there, as he made an MBR open for us. Remember, Grady was the one brave enough to have his latest single critiqued by the Roast Twins on our June 3rd episode. Make sure you've seen the video of that one, because at some points you can actually see his soul leave his body as Dan's daughters give their honest thoughts on his latest hit, New Dress. This next thing is weird for me to play because it's based on something I said, but when Mike Rhyner says it's the funniest thing he's ever heard you say, you have to play it, right? This is from our Tuesday, July 2nd episode with Mike and Julie Dobbs, and the topic of VPNs come up during the news, and we had a fun time explaining to Julie why some sites are better than others.
So yeah, the Texas Supreme Court today, Dan, actually said they will consider a challenge to the law. So the hub might be back sooner before later.
It's very exciting.
It is very exciting.
Yeah, I'm so
I'm
happy
tired of
for y'all.
these other sites make me feel
You're happy for us?
Yeah.
It's the same videos, but it's just seedy. The setup looks real GeoCities-ish. Bingo
You think
for Jake.
your husband watches porn?
Don't answer that.
Why are you aiming your target at
I'm
me?
just
He's
asking.
over here admitting to being
don't-
very distraught about
Don't
porn.
do it. Oh,
Don't do it.
both of us are.
We know we're dirtbags.
Pornhub is a clean.
I just think most
first of all,
wives
There's not a
think
clean-
They run an
husbands
above-board
don't.
operation. They don't allow revenge stuff. They
That's right.
They moderate it very well.
They're the Joe and Troy of porn.
They are America's porn side of the week. That's exactly what they are. Best producers.
The 18.
God,
Yeah.
I haven't heard it all, but that might be the funniest thing I've ever heard you say.
That's exactly
Joe
what it
and
is.
Troy.
Really fun episode on Tuesday with Mike, Julie, and William Pace. That's one you definitely need to go back if you missed it. Quick shout out to Nima Shabazi, who's getting married today. Congratulations, brother. Advice? Enjoy the day because it goes by really fast. Take some extra time, walk around and talk to the people that made time for you. Tonight's advice: think about your fantasy baseball team, think about your flex position and your draft strategies coming up in fantasy football, and think about what Bill Belichick thinks about to last longer with his 24-year-old. Enjoy your day, Nima. Let's check in with the dumb phone one more time.
So I know you boys regret naming yourselves the Dumb Zone when you're in business meetings and whatnot, But you shouldn't, because a guy named Jelly Roll just won an ACM award, and his name is Jelly Roll. So, Dumb Zone, just fine.
That is a great point. If a 400-pound tattooed dude named Jelly Roll can be taken seriously in country music, we'll be okay being the Dumb Zone. And we don't have an aggravated robbery felony in our history. Kemp spin. All right, let's get to the news. Back to our rare Wednesday show with Lawrence Rosales from July 3rd.
News?
Yes, sir.
News?
Here's Jake with the Dumb Zone News.
The FBI has accused a man of flying a drone over Globe Life Field during a Rangers game.
So what?
So I
don't.
think
Did this drone attack college football?
I don't think so.
What's that mean?
That was an old Mike Rhyner bit. Apparently, during the games, they issue a temporary flight restriction, and you are not allowed to fly the drone over it. So they, of course, issued a warrant, and they got the drone's flight data and photos, and look, there it is, Globe Life Field, flying above the stadium.
The gilf.
I think having a drone would be stressful, because there are a lot of rules like this. Like, you fly it into a place where you're not allowed to, you fly it at a time or an elevation that you're not allowed to. I don't want anything to do with drones, man. It doesn't seem like they're going anywhere. Because, this is a good opportunity to reintroduce that theory, right? Last year, on July 4th, Northwich and Hills did the drone show. Begrudgingly, it was badass. I prefer a fireworks show, and they did a little bit of that too. But they had a drone show that was like depicting scenes from American history, like Washington crossing the river, and it was impressive. But it dawned on me that fireworks are basically just an approximation of war artillery. Like, we got to fireworks based on the idea that, like, we used to blow shit up, and people were like, what if we did that without killing people? It's the same thing with drones. Drones were initially used to just wipe out, ideally, specific targets, but in practice, villages.
Yeah.
And then people were like, what if we made them form a longhorn in the sky?
Yeah.
So whatever the next thing is, just know that it'll be coming to a July 4th near you.
So, Paul, you knew Jake in high school. You were both on the football team.
Yes.
And he was a badass, would do anything.
You've overstated that tremendously, and now I have people I went to high school here with, and
He was a complete badass.
He was a kick-ass badass who would do anything. Would high school Jake have been worried about, I don't want a drone because I would have to worry about the rules and regulations.
Leather jacket, Jake?
Yeah.
I did not have. Interesting.
Dude, a leather jacket?
The guy who's putting his nutsack on people's faces to haze them.
No, that nutsack was squarely on my face. He remembers birthdays.
Birthdays, no good. You sit up right into a ball bag there. Nobody likes that.
Yeah. He's been
What does that
I'm
mean?
sure he's been birthday.
You know, I think I got away never being birthdayed.
You were bigger than I was.
Yeah. I witnessed many birthdays.
Hold on a second. What happened?
It's in the locker room.
Yeah.
It's in the locker room. Okay. All right.
One person holds you down.
Okay.
It's a sit-up contest. Is that the...
I just remember it being like the nuts were in my face. I can't exactly recall.
I remember someone stands over you.
Yeah.
Then you're meant to do a sit-up, and when you do, ball bag.
Yeah.
All right. And was it 90% or
Feels like it would
10%?
hurt. Yeah, it would hurt the balls.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like anything grazes that.
It was just...
Why are all hazing things
emasculating.
gay?
Right?
Yeah. Like, extremely. Not even kind of like, hey, you're cute. You have beautiful eyes, Lawrence.
Yeah, exactly. Romance involved.
There
No
was
romance at all.
And
Yeah.
there would be people clapping and cheering and chanting around you.
This is a nightmare.
Yeah,
this
it was
is
not.
terrible.
It was not uncommon. I think I got it twice.
I've been to jail a bunch. This doesn't happen.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like
You
they
know,
would
like-
drag ninth graders into a varsity locker room
to
and
let them watch.
a full-grown adult would then put his ball bag in your face.
There might be a coach very aware of what was happening.
God, this just turned into a documentary.
Not concerned.
Yeah. Just sex crimes, pretty much, right?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Like, so all this bonding really helped lead to that 1-12 record, or what?
I think we went 2-8 senior year.
Okay.
But yeah, sure. I just want to be clear. That's all true. The leather jacket thing is not.
I love that. I love that.
Not happening.
My memory's a little different.
God,
that
What's
reminds
the
me.
leather jacket?
Popped collar.
No,
leather
he's
jacket.
you're such.
There was no leather jacket. There was a Letterman's jacket.
Yeah, you know what happened to that?
Oh.
I gave it to Matt Birmingham as a White Elephant Day gift in a Trumpy Bear that I received. I put the leather jacket on the Trumpy Bear, and then he got in a car accident, totaled the car, jacket gone, along with Trumpy Bear.
It was
Had
stuck
bad
in the
vibes.
trunk. Yeah.
The leather jacket. It just reminds me, like, remember the Teen Wolf, Michael J. Fox?
Of course.
Remember he, like, pulls his best friend into the garage to tell him his big secret? And he's like, I'm a werewolf. And the guy's like, oh, God, I thought you were going to say you were gay. Like, that's like, it's a different era.
What a relief.
Yeah, what a relief. Yo, you're just a
sniffed out
werewolf.
that bag of pot.
Yeah. I got teabagged, but there was no leather jacket.
Yeah.
That would have been. Yeah.
I won't admit to that.
Yeah.
I don't think high school would have Jake would have gave a shit about the rules about the drone.
To get back to the original point.
Way to circle back.
Yeah, solid. Hey, remind me, have we talked about the Selena memorabilia guy? I've had this story on my stack for a couple days, and I didn't think I did it. So, there's a guy in Corpus Christi who is obsessed with Selena, and he is on a mission. Somehow, this is a record that is there to be broken, to set a Guinness World Record for the largest collection of Selena memorabilia. And he put this on display last Saturday at the Lake Jackson Historical Association. He has 1,300 items. Now, in general, doesn't really matter what the obsession is. I'm creeped out by it. Like, big Cowboy fan. When I see a guy who has, like, the Cowboy room and it's got a little adjacent Cowboy bathroom, I think that's weird. I think it's really weird.
Corpus is such a shithole. I mean, I could see it happening out there.
You might have to play there, you know?
No, I have, and I told him that.
I mean, in the future, you should just like, thanks for booking me. This is a shithole.
Yeah, I know. I told you, this place is a beach town the way Long John's is fucking seafood. Like, just save your money and take a real vacation. It was like purgatory for dads that don't pay child support.
My dad lives there. And
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm sure he does. He looks like someone that does. You know, it's like it's got a Whataburger with a Selena statue. It is.
It does have that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Probably the nicest restaurant in the whole city.
I think I've actually seen pictures. It's like really modern and cool looking, right? No?
Yeah, no, it's cool enough where you realize this is a bad city.
Yeah.
They just got oil burning in the distance. You know what I mean? Just broken glass up and down the beaches. It is. It's a rough place.
So this guy's not that old. Let's see. He looks to me to be like he's in his early 30s, and he has 1,300 pieces of memorabilia. Selena dolls, perfumes, creepy, boutique items, and much more. So they had like this big event. Said his grandmother, who passed away, inspired him to start the collection because she was a passionate collector of Elvis memorabilia.
The woman that shot Selena was a big fan too, wasn't she?
She was president of the fan club.
Yeah,
Huge fan.
Huge fan. Yeah.
I have
we
a note
miss
on
you,
her.
but the bullets didn't.
Go ahead.
Should I give my note on her?
On which one?
The woman who shot Selena?
Go ahead.
That's the first thing I think about.
Are you allowed to?
I don't know.
Then probably don't then. I forgot what note you had until now I'm considering it, and maybe we huddle together and see if we can get back on this one.
All right, I'll hold that.
Okay.
Boy, remember Jake?
Dude, every turn.
He used to wear a leather jacket, not give a shit about anything.
I know a guy who is connected to the killer of Selena somehow.
That's okay. I'll take the ball.
Let's go with that.
Okay.
I'll go with that.
Fine.
And you know what? I will attempt to reach out to him.
Did you guys remember Dan when you played golf on acid? You know,
took shrooms and went to ride roller coasters.
Telling pedo jokes at the campound. Now he's like, I'll just stop there.
Let me check with my guy.
You want me to tell it?
All right. So, anyways, are you guys with me on anybody who collects like to that degree is just weird? Just I don't. I've never met anybody like that, so I don't know if I would maintain a friendship or ever have one.
I think a friend of mine's mom growing up was really big into collecting Beanie Babies. Like, had a whole wall of them.
That might have been a hustle, though.
Was it for the cost? A lot of people thought, oh, these are going to be worth a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I don't remember at the time. I just remember it being really weird having an entire wall of Beanie Babies.
People, that was non-working wife mom side hustle. That was basically like not Etsy. What was the candle thing they all tried to get us into? Scentsy. It was, everyone knew.
I disagree with a lot of men's hobbies. Like, we got grown men knocking children down to get Lego sets, and nobody seems bothered by it.
Yeah.
You know, just a grown man with a full beard just building Legos. I don't know.
I mean, I think it's even, the foul ball, like the guy at the game who's going to push a kid down. That's no good.
The old guy in the autograph
I mean, you've been
line.
going to games for 30 years.
It's your turn.
You've never had a foul ball yet. This kid, I've never really liked the crowd chanting that you have to give it to a kid.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Because, I've been going forever, and I've never come close to a foul ball. If I get one, and then the crowd chants to give it to this 3-year-old who has no idea what's going on. And then, even as a kid, as a teenager or something, when I'd go to the games, I thought that'd be a cheap way to get one.
You want to earn it because nothing is given anywhere in Ohio.
Right, in Northeast Ohio.
Yeah.
Fuck that little kid.
Yeah, right? That's my personality, too. Like, if I caught it and I would give it to the kid, but if everybody started yelling at me, I'd be like, I'm keeping this. I'll fight everybody all my way out,
Yeah, how great would that be?
Yeah. I'm gonna make SportsCenter, finally.
This is a story I'm surprised you don't see more of. 2 18-year-olds pled guilty to robbing USPS workers all over DFW.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of a sitting target, right?
Yeah, that's a real crapshoot on.
Yeah, you don't know what's in there.
You're just taking other people's bills.
Yeah. How many people are getting anything real valuable in the mail?
I imagine they're stealing packages.
You go for the loot, the vault.
You end up with a crocheted blanket.
Yeah. Just a bunch of stuff from Etsy.
How do Amazon trucks not get hit more?
They have to be equipped
with turret machine guns.
Well, at least with cameras and stuff, don't you think?
Well, yeah. I mean, these people are on camera, but they're
they don't care.
No, they're just obscured their face. They look like Heart Attack Man from yesterday. But yeah, 18 years old, little teen, 8 robberies in 4 months.
You know what? Again, now having a kid that's a teenager, I applaud that kid for
a little initiative.
Yeah, my kid was just sitting around watching YouTube. She's not out there trying to earn.
I don't think it matters. I wouldn't want to get robbed like in my USPS uniform. Like you're already, like you're already in kind of a weakened position. Those little short shorts and the. It's so hot outside.
Oh my God! And those trucks are not air conditioned.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, it's miserable.
That's actually interesting though, because as trends change, the USPS shorts and even the UPS shorts have stayed the same. And for a long time, everybody was like, "Look at those homos."
Yeah.
And now, like it's the 7 inches, maybe even 5 is in style.
Yeah,
right.
Standard issue.
Little thighs out. So now they're like, "Well, I've been here the whole time." Culture.
Can you take a cop seriously who has shorts?
No.
Like
Not
the
at
bike cop or something around Ranger game?
Like, do you have to do something stupid to end up being the bike cop? Like, they obviously had bigger aspirations.
Like
they have to make fun of him at the precinct or whatever.
Like when they put Jimmy on the boat.
Like, don't give me the bike cop today.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you fucked up again.
Jake,
Back
you're on the
bike
Segway.
duty. Oh, the Segway cop? That seems like a punishment as well.
Yeah, it's tough.
What about the horse cop?
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, that seems cooler. That seems cooler.
Yeah, a horse could kill you.
Yeah.
You're never going to get anywhere, though.
And it's shitting
like, can
everywhere.
you ever see a horse cop, like, chase a criminal down on the horse? Like, he's whipping it. And he's,
love to.
And how come the horse cop isn't tiny, like a jockey?
That is a great point. That is a very valid point.
They just have to start recruiting 4.5-foot cops.
Yeah. All little squeaky voice guys.
I do love that. I just love the whole concept.
This is an interesting one. A Little League team here in North Texas, this is from Fossil Ridge, not too far from where we grew up, has been removed from the Little League of World Series tournament. By the way, you're about to get beaten
steroids?
beat down with that. Yes. No, not steroids, pedophilia.
Oh.
No, it's not pedophilia.
Oh.
The coach says in comments to NBC here locally that they're too good. Like that they never lost And so other parents around the region and around the country didn't want them in, so they started trying to find little loopholes of, hey, is this guy's residency actually good? How long have these kids been playing together? Stuff that probably they all do and nobody cares about. But
well, of course the coach is going to say this.
Yeah, but the NBC comment asked whatever commission, Little League International, and they didn't give that much detail either. They just said we reviewed the information and discussed it with the league. And
I think I read someone accused them of being like a travel team that wouldn't normally qualify.
Yeah,
and then they started like a little league team basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's probably true, but
you're
probably right too. There's probably a lot of teams doing that.
Exactly, but if you go 50-0,
yeah,
then other teams around are like, hey, how'd you get that
yourself
kid?
a beam.
How'd you get that kid?
That's your fault.
And it's also funny too that the guy
don't cheat on the test and get an A.
The guy says basically he says that they had the water bills, which is like not that hard to do. I would imagine like you could just say, hey, he stays with them.
Resident. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember the Brett Shipp story where he like drove to Oklahoma because Southlake had a quarterback that was here, and he immediately supplanted the kid that had been waiting to play quarterback. And what do you think those kids' parents did? They called Brett Shipp.
Right.
And the kid had moved from Oklahoma.
His mom
didn't
live here.
Didn't really live here, but Brett Shipp is like standing in front of his house in Oklahoma, trying to knock on the door and talk to the parents.
Brett Shipp's awesome. We got to get him on.
Yeah, I'd love to talk Dion with Brett Shipp. That was such a wild scene, man. Brett Shipp and Prime Prep.
I feel bad. We turned him down when we were getting sued.
There's a lot going on, dude.
I know, but I like Brett Shipp.
I do too. A woman, this is our last one, was charged with
murder. You know what? I want to do that with your residents too. To be able to join Grapevine Rec.
Done.
Like, would I be able to say I live at your house?
Yeah, we'll craft a narrative where you got divorced.
Oh, yeah, make it a good narrative.
You're staying with me for a little while. You got divorced because she's not romantic.
You've been divorced, right, Lawrence?
Yeah.
Is that sweet or is it upsetting?
I've had the worst time.
That's not what Dan wanted to hear.
Yeah, it's not been good.
You thought it was a bad
I live
bit.
in a rented room. You know.
Now?
Yeah.
Well, that really brought the room down.
Well, yeah, geez. No, I just wanted.
No, you think it would be like awesome and sweet, but like,
when you got divorced,
how was the kid already born?
He was in the womb.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you able to be in the room for the birth?
No, I showed up and they said we cannot prove that she's here.
What?
Yeah, it was a whole thing. It was not fun. Not fun at all.
I did bring the room down.
It'd be
didn't
funny.
I?
It turned dark.
But everything's okay
Quick.
now. She was just texting me. I'm like, hey, I'm busy. She's like, your son's at the Crayola place and he got in for free. I'm like, I took him 6 months ago and I paid to get in.
Yeah.
So, but thanks for adding that detail.
All right, well, I'm going to end this with a fun one then. A woman was charged with murder.
Ooh.
After the body of a man was found in a plastic storage container in northwest Fort Worth.
Hot?
You be the judge, America.
Hot? Oh, my
Roseanne vibe.
Yeah.
Very hot.
Yeah.
We got a Zan.
Oh, yeah.
You got a Zan.
Jesus. Wait, she was murdered or she murdered somebody?
She murdered somebody. She's 51 years old. The man was 52.
Whoa. She's 51?
Yeah, so she's younger
That's
than
a lot
Dan.
of years.
Yeah.
Apparently, he stole her Mountain Dew.
Oh, man. She looks like a tire that needs to be changed. It's that is rough. Imagine that being the last thing you see. That's not a loving God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would rather be looking at the state official who puts the cocktail in your arm.
Yeah.
On the gurney.
I was thinking about this yesterday. I had a school teacher when I was a kid in Plano, named Miss Wolverton, and she was just real mean. And then one day she just went home and murdered her entire family.
Oh,
yeah. She hated me too. She hated me bad. And what's funny, she yelled at me one day. And what's funny, I was thinking about this yesterday. What's funny is she yelled at me one day because like I was in this kind of thing where I was in trouble where you weren't allowed to do anything that wasn't exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And I was reading a biography at the time. And I remember she grabbed me by the neck and kicked me out of the classroom because I was like, you're mad at me because I was reading? And what I was reading, this is true, was Jim Morrison's Nobody Here Gets Out Alive.
She's like,
maybe
good idea.
Maybe she just saw the cover or something. I don't know.
Wow, yeah, here it is.
Yeah, Miss Wolverton, Plano. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my teacher. Senior year.
How's
Science.
she looking there, Jake?
Oh, dude.
She's not. There's no image in this photo.
Real rough. Real rough.
Man, yeah, I guess a gun I couldn't beat.
What are you saying? What were you about to say?
Well, when I see this story that this guy, he's a 52-year-old guy was killed by this 51-year-old woman and put in a storage container. I mean, it's got to be a gun because otherwise this woman is not killing me.
Yeah.
There's just no way.
Those guns give you big muscles.
Yeah, and apparently that's what Miss Wolverton used because there was a handgun found next to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Took everybody out.
Yeah. Looks like there was a 19-year-old a
hot.
How did you manage to get the room back by telling us about a family murder suicide?
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting. I thought about it yesterday. I think the Jim Morrison thing's a pretty good detail. I remembered it vividly.
Oh man, did they? I love the thing they do now. This is 2003, so they probably didn't do this. But now what they do is they say counseling services will be on site for students who need.
Oh, they didn't do shit for us. They didn't do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, but if there's a bomb threat made now. You know how fast all three of us would have taken. I'm feeling some trauma.
I feel like for us, we came into school the next day and they're like, you know how she was, and then everybody just got back to work. So we had a substitute teacher, you know what I mean, who was clearly nicer. What a low bar.
She hadn't killed anybody.
Yeah.
All right, there's your news.
Dumb Zone News. Like and subscribe.
Lawrence is headlining at TK's Comedy this weekend. I think Dan is going Saturday night, and Jake and I are going Sunday night. So let us know if you plan on making it out. Maybe we can do a DF meetup with Lawrence after the shows. Last segment of this one, it's Today in History from our Tuesday Sode at our new studio with Mike, Julie, and a cleaner-sounding heart attack man.
They took her money.
They didn't really address that part. Look at this kick-ass video open.
Wow,
son.
Is that from Jason?
Why did y'all put 1969 on there?
It's a big year in history.
No, we didn't do this. Jason did.
Okay.
He's got the dirty mind. I mean, if you know Jason for 5 minutes.
That was a pivotal year in American.
You know he loves 69.
Jason?
So today is Tuesday, July 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
On this day in 1881, President James A. Garfield was shot.
Number?
20.
Yes.
Hey, still got it.
Oh, wow. We have an exclusive photo.
Oh, I'm shot.
Garfield would die the following September. So he hung on.
That's pretty impressive for 140 years ago.
July till September.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, this is where I have trouble with
the following, like 1882. No, wait.
Is that Mike Rhyner?
I don't know.
Hey, whoa. Is that Heart Attack Man?
I thought Mike Rhyner was dead.
Whoa, what's happening?
He has been for years.
Reiner's dead.
I love you, Mike.
I love you too.
I love you so
Heart
much.
Attack Man.
I'm so glad to see you.
Maybe you guys could do some Rocktober later. So weird and not on the phone.
Maybe a little Uriah Heep.
Yeah, a little easy living. Look at that guy.
So on this day in 1937, aviator Amelia Earhart disappeared.
Aviatrix, you mean?
Disappeared
stewardess?
over the Pacific Ocean while attempting to make the first round-the-world flight along the equator.
She wouldn't ask for yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Thank you to the skydiving chief for that Chiron.
Trademark.
Let's see here. So she was trying to do the first around-the-world thing. Anyway.
Didn't make it.
Didn't make
Oh.
it. Never seen again.
You know, there are some people that think she was taken prisoner.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. in Japanese custody.
Like, is she possibly still alive?
Shogun.
Yeah, she
married to Hitler.
She was there with
Argentina?
Injun or whatever his name is.
We call them Native Americans, I think.
She's kind of an interesting.
Not bad. Not bad for back then.
All right, guys, settle down. Settle down, everyone.
Stewardess outfit.
Yeah,
Let's see.
old Southwest outfit.
On this day in 2002, American Steve Fawcett completed the first around-the-world solo flight in a balloon. He went to Australia, and he probably just went
a
up
guy did it
and
in
then
a balloon, but a chick did it and got lost.
In an airplane, yeah.
13-day, 19,000-mile trip.
How do you know where you're going in a balloon?
How do you know he didn't just go up there, float for 13 days, and then land and be like, "Oh yeah, I went around the world"?
I guess you got all this.
That's sponsored by Bud Light.
Yeah, he's sponsored by Bud Light.
What if
You have
you
to
just
stay awake for 13 days?
All you would have to
That was
do.
my thought.
Hear me out. So you just go straight up. You sit there for 24 hours, and the Earth rotates under you.
Aha.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a nice little trick. That sounds
See?
so boring.
Leave it to Mr. Dan to come up with.
Man, it rules so hard that Bud Light sponsored that.
Yeah, that's when I started.
That's so
hating
America.
that.
Hey, a really cool science thing that we have here. Let's get some domestic lights in there.
On this day in 1982, a man named Larry Walters of San Pedro, California, had a lawn chair equipped with 45 helium-filled weather balloons, sat in it, and it rose to an altitude of 16,000 feet.
16,000?
He landed 8 miles away in Long Beach, California.
Safely?
Apparently so. Larry Walters.
In a lawn chair?
Yeah.
Was he strapped in?
He had to be.
Yeah.
Had to be.
Back then, they didn't have regulations like they do now.
Yeah.
Right.
Biden's America.
Now, all right, somebody get into an unstrapped lawn
Now
chair
you
and
can't
talk
now
to
you
me.
can't get in a lawn chair. You can't get in a lawn chair without airbags.
That's right.
Yeah, right.
The price of lawn chairs?
Yeah, and I hear now they're trying to make them electric.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
You know, and making them in Mexico.
Look at him go.
Look at him go.
On this day in 1996, Alex Rodriguez was named to the American League All-Star team, becoming the third youngest player ever selected as an All-Star. Who were the other two, Mike Rhyner? Who were the two younger players than A-Rod?
Baseball Jesus.
You got this.
So he was 20 years and 11 months old.
I'll say Pete Rose and David Clyde.
Right? You know that's the dumbest guess you've ever had.
Yeah, it is.
David Clyde did not. You're just mailing this in.
I don't know.
Oh, man.
Jeez, don't yell at me. It's it's actually
one of them Robin Yount.
It wasn't Robin Yount. It was
Nolan.
Trout?
No. It had to be pre-1996, right?
Right. Wait. Yeah. Dwight Gooden.
Ah.
Okay.
And then Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh.
Those weren't that hard. We're dummies.
No, they weren't.
The dumb
He just got signed
zone.
because of his dad.
That's right.
Ooh, Jake.
Uh-oh.
On this day in 2013,
This is going to be Ryan Dunn.
an Olympic track star had her name removed from the Big Ten Female Athlete of the Year following some revelations.
Susie Favor Hamilton.
That she had worked as a prostitute. Olympic track star Susie Favor Hamilton, who would go on to be interviewed by Norm, right?
Yeah, I just instinctively was going to play it, but I don't want to mess with
Yeah, I don't think we can play that. Well, we probably can, but yeah, let's not.
It's so funny, dude. Because TC and I broke it down within the last year, so I went and listened to the whole interview. And if you don't know the story,
You and I broke it down once.
Did we?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, it was me and you.
Okay, yeah. So she was like America's sweetheart. She's from Wisconsin. She was a phenomenal athlete. And then somewhere along the line, she got depressed.
You were there, right, Blake?
And she
we did this.
Yeah, I think I did it on both. And she wanted to try a threesome in Vegas with her husband and another girl. Maybe it was another guy. I can't remember. But anyway, she got addicted to sex.
Let's ask Tom Gribble.
And she became an escort.
So
And
the one threesome got her addicted to sex?
yeah, I think she had a lot of other issues.
Okay.
She's schizophrenic, and she was in good spirits when she was on with Norm and was able to tell her story. But it was so weird because Norm was like, she's like, yeah, and I participated in sex with multiple partners at the same time, and I swear to you, Norm's like, how many?
Oh, God.
Does it hurt?
Yeah,
It's a fair question.
it was just
That sounds really dirty.
it was like this whole hey, we're talking about redemption and
doesn't hurt.
forgiveness and grace and how you can turn your life around, and he's just like, how many dicks? So I remember where I was when I was listening to that. It pulled my car over.
Did you ever have double penetration?
And it's super funny too because Donovan was like, let's go back to which one of the races you think is the hardest to win in trials or something. And I'm like, no.
Right.
No.
Back to the
Norm's effing rolling
Amazing,
here.
ironic note, though. You have 2 orifices.
On this day in 2018, rescue divers in
One of
Thailand
which I know very well.
found 12 boys and their soccer coach.
Hell yeah.
They had been trapped by flooding as they explored a cave a week prior. It
Yeah.
always seemed really weird, too.
know.
Just the whole, hey, I'm 12 boys and a soccer coach in a...
Going a little exploration, I guess. I don't know. I get what you're saying.
Was this the Elon Musk thing?
Yes. Yes. I'm going to see if I can find the exact comments he made.
We should get one of those kids on. Wonder what they're up to now.
I think they're all in the Premier League.
They're all sex addicted and they become prostitutes.
I can get one of them for you. I'll just call for information on my new, the helpline for my new my new Mac.
So, yeah. So, yeah, Elon won a defamation suit that this guy filed against him. The guy who actually, he's like a cave explorer and created the vessel that went in there and saved him. Elon wanted to get there first, and so he called this guy Pedo Guy. And in court, this actually
Pete
worked.
O'Brien?
It was Pete O'Brien, yeah.
This actually worked. Mr. Musk told the court this week the phrase Pedo Guy was common in South Africa where he grew up.
Jeez.
And he won?
Yeah.
That Elon man, got to hand it to him.
I
He
guess.
keeps winning. So much winning. And on this day in 2020, British socialite
Can't handle it.
Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested
That's
in New Hampshire
appropriate.
on charges she had helped lure.
Is that
at
a
least
crossroad
3
with
girls.
Chisholm Trail?
She was Jeffrey Epstein's.
Yeah. She was a big
Yeah, you go up to June MBR
recruiter.
and then you go and take
She was great at recruiting, right?
to the lake.
Oh, yeah.
Just she wasn't the head coach.
Yeah. She was not, but she was very, very involved. And I heard recently she was going to spill the beans on everything she had on Trump or something. But, I've been down El Brillo way before. That's where the house was. And I have been there.
He seeked it out.
One of the creepiest
Oh,
experiences of my
roll
life.
away. I thought that was a euphemism.
That's what I thought too.
No, it's Mike's getting flashbacks to the 70s. I gotta say too, horrible criminal, right up my alley. Ghislaine.
Ghislaine?
Yeah, I don't know how I've said it.
Ghislaine?
I've heard it said a million different ways.
You think she's hot?
I do.
And a little bit evil?
I do. I mean,
You
she's
like
British,
that?
which doesn't help. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Kind of into it too.
yeah, powerful,
Like Charlotte Jones.
powerful.
Yeah.
She'd be totally into a 3-way.
Yeah, I'm like, how old is this kid? I don't think so, Ghislaine.
Yeah, you'd never be able to
I'm
satisfy her,
distancing
right?
from you too.
She's always wanting to take it to that next level.
Yeah, I don't have that in me, and I'm also not a criminal, so that could be a.
She's a sicko.
She would lose interest in you rather quickly.
I think so, but I might be able to up my game. You don't know me.
You could lead with the whole
That's true, I
throw
don't.
cheese thing.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Microwaved a CD once.
Mm-hmm.
In our famous birthdays, we have Jose Canseco's 60.
Former Ranger great.
What was he like to cover?
Difficult. He wanted no part of any of it.
Were you out in the room back then?
I was.
interviewing him?
And he wanted no part of any of it. He was far, far too good for...
Because he was one of the Bash Brothers, man. That was
Yes, he was.
What, Oakland just couldn't keep their free agents?
He was at least one of the 3 most high-toned baseball players of his time.
The other two?
Dwight Gooden and
Ken Griffey Jr.
Jack Clark?
Not even in the conversation.
He's got
Though
a hot
good.
daughter, too. Jose Canseco, have y'all
He's got
seen
a
his
hot daughter?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, she's like all over. She's a big social media gal.
Did you just ask me that?
Yeah, okay. Just making sure. I was waiting for someone else to say it. I figured,
Well,
but I don't know, Jake.
let's go over
I
to
haven't
Jake.
talked to you
Does he?
Much
Is that
lately.
true?
100%. Absolutely.
Josie?
Yeah.
He's all
So
over
wait,
it.
a pro athlete.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Probably had like a model that he had this daughter with, and then their kid was hot.
Here she is at a celebrity softball game with Johnny Manziel.
Oh, right.
I was just waiting for it to go there. Mm-hmm.
Man. I really wanted the Cowboys to draft him. That would have been
I know,
so great.
bud. Got to let it go. Yeah.
That's Jose Canseco's daughter.
The Canseco daughter?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ozzie
I'd like to
Canseco
bounce
is
the
60. I bet.
baseball off her head.
I bet Ozzie Canseco's daughter's a root.
No word on that.
Derek White is 30.
Root.
The Celtic?
The Celtic.
That is a very useful player.
Figure skater Johnny Weir, 40.
By the way,
some say gay.
Maybe we'll. I don't know if there's time to talk about this. Do you find it funny that the Celtics have now signed 3 guys to like the largest contracts in
We'll never
NBA
know.
history on the same day that they announced they're selling the team?
Yeah, I heard somebody
He looks like
mentioning, maybe
Come
it was
on,
like the Hoop
Eileen.
Collective was like, yeah, now they'll let the new owner
I didn't get that far in it, but yeah, it's a great move.
will take care of the second apron and all.
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Johnny Weir. I wonder if we have that audio.
Why do they call those aprons?
Oh, I have all the Johnny Weir audio for sure. You want to hear some?
Yeah, whatever. We've already gone long. I don't know. Apron. Yeah.
I'm really uncomfortable with that word.
The word apron?
Yeah.
Why?
Him. I don't know.
I think they should use membrane.
I don't know. I'm not really uncomfortable with it at all. I was just trying to set somebody up for a joke.
You don't want to get into that second membrane. That's
Mission
danger.
accomplished.
You did it.
That's danger.
How do you spell it? W-E? Yeah, all right.
I'm only finding 2 things, but
I was just looking at it this morning. No, I had a bunch of stuff where he was talking about whether or not he's gay.
well, I did not mean to stop you down, pal.
Whether or not.
Yeah, he's asked about it, and he's very coy.
Oh, of course.
He can't. What?
What? What do you think? You're saying he is?
No, she's saying, how could he ever try to
Try to play that like
obscure
he's
it.
not. Like
Yeah.
he's very, I thought, very openly, outwardly.
Why would you say that? I didn't
Yeah, I don't
understand what you're
that
saying.
looked pretty masculine. I don't know. Kind of a cross between adamant and I don't know, maybe the guy from Dexy's Midnight Runners.
I don't know those references.
I don't know.
No, I can't find it.
Okay, it's all good.
Little goody two shoes.
Oh, here we go.
For the man who's comfortable talking about everything, on the one question everybody wants answered, he reveals nothing.
Do you understand that people are always fascinated by whether someone is gay or straight?
Yeah, I completely understand people debating about sexuality for famous people, for athletes, but I am Johnny Weir, and take me as that. I don't need to be pigeonholed one way or another, just the same as people don't need to be judged based on their race or their gender or things like that. I don't need to be put into a box. I have no box.
I'll believe that.
I almost felt like
Yeah,
he
you
was
got
doing
that
a
right,
bit.
didn't
I don't
you?
want to be pigeonholed.
Says that his sexuality is always business.
Absolutely. But isn't he somewhat guilty of begging the question?
He's coy.
He's coy. He's not gay.
That right there would not fly today.
You think?
Yeah, dude. You can't just say to somebody like, tell us. You're acting gay, say you're gay.
Yeah.
Tell us now.
You got to come out, man.
You're begging the question, and we have a right to know.
Yeah.
Of course you don't have a right to know.
Actually, the gay people would make him do it. Seriously.
You're probably
What, are
right.
you not proud to be gay? What the hell's wrong with you, John?
Yeah.
Queer?
Disown him.
Probably
Come on,
true.
bro.
Brett the Hitman Hart is 67.
Oh, man. The sharp. I can't tell you how many times I put my brother in the sharpshooter.
I don't know what that is. I'm proud to not know. I'm proud that. That's
It's a super solid finishing move that works really well on an 8-year-old.
Nice.
It sounds
Knuckles, bro.
pedo-ish.
Man, I'm going to put a distance from that.
If we just mark that and play it alone. Brandel.
He's actually physically distant.
Brandel Chambly is 62.
Golf man.
Golf channel.
Longhorn. SEC guy.
Wasn't he super pissed about Liv?
Yes.
I remember we played some of his stuff where he was real mad.
Was he the one that went off to die?
No. I'm ready.
That was
that's
Nick Faldo.
That's Nick Faldo,
Oh.
yeah. He didn't go off to die. He went to Montana. Which
And then he was on like the next broadcast. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm ready.
Ready.
Scott Aukerman is 58.
I like him. I saw a clip of his this morning.
He's from Mr. Show and Comedy Bang Bang. Let's see. Catherine Irby is 58. I only bring her up. She was on Oz.
Did we have two Oz?
What was her...
and Law and Order.
Who did she play?
She was a prisoner on death row. But we had her on once when I was out at the...
Her. You see it?
Yeah, I can see it, but I don't recognize
Not ringing
her.
a bell?
No.
Larry David is 77.
Greatness.
You watched the final season?
No, not yet. I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't. I'm watching the whole thing all over again.
Oh, okay.
That's what I got going.
I thought
now.
about doing that.
Nice.
I went final
It's
season.
good. It holds
final
up,
season's
man.
great. That's where, so recently, who was complaining? Oh, Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Was like, oh, you can't be funny nowadays. You can't do funny things. The PC police. And everybody's like, the Larry David show's on right now.
Yeah.
And you can absolutely be really funny and don't care about the PC police. Jerry Hall is 68.
Whoa.
Yeah, Mick Jagger plowed through that.
As did Rupert Murdoch.
As did Brian Ferry.
Congratulations to all of them.
Okay, let's just consider how weird it is that
That's a magical home base.
the lead singer of one of the most influential and I would say in their time viewed as somewhat, I know they were huge, but counterculturally, I guess, the Rolling Stones.
Roxy Music, you mean?
Their lead singer was married to a lady.
That was for you, Mike.
Thank you.
Who then ended up marrying
Ed.
the guy who created like the most evil news empire of all time. This isn't weird to anybody else?
Yeah, no.
I guarantee you Mick Jagger is
it's
about as
it's
far to the
weird.
left you can get.
It's weird, but it's
Chicks
understandable.
like money. Who knew?
Yeah, it turns out she doesn't care about any of their views.
Yeah, it's weird, but it's not totally incomprehensible.
Because it's rich people doing rich people
Yes.
stuff. Yeah.
We're simple creatures, really.
They're staying in their own economic demographic.
Going to the Hamptons.
Rock musician Dave Parsons is 59. His band, I once saw them open for Tool.
Well, let's see. I've known a few bands that toured with Tool.
You can't even do it. You can't even do it.
One was Korn.
Well, now Korn would play, but
they would kind of be on a side stage with Hole.
yeah,
cracking
Hole would
himself
open
up
for
over
Korn.
here.
Yeah.
And, of course, Bush would open for Tool. And Dave Parsons was in Bush. Lindsay Lohan is 38.
Make Bushes great again.
Dude, I'm telling you. I'm proud of her.
So Dave Parsons,
But
Dave Bush.
Yeah.
Was-
There was a time when she was like a full-on junkie.
Such an old photo, right?
No, have you seen her lately? She is cleaned up and looking great, and she's
A
confident.
lot of lip filler.
Okay, well, look out that window, as he would say. That's not a...
I like the filler lips.
If we're going to start taking shots at lip filler, then be a whole lot of women. in
Yeah,
trouble.
we're going to have a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Big lip filler apologist over here.
No,
I
I'm just
see.
saying. I mean, it seems like... whatever. I'm not going to say.
Margot Robbie is 34.
She's pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Was that the daughter of Joe Robbie?
Now she is hot. I will admit hot when I see hot.
No, she's not the daughter of Joe Robbie.
Okay, fair question.
She's Barbie.
She's Barbie.
I never saw Barbie. Or Oppenheimer.
She's whatever she's had done, if anything, it's the perfect amount. She doesn't look too fake.
I thought I need to see Barbie and Oppenheimer at the same time.
She was great in Wolf of Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
And listen to Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon.
Right.
I think.
Yes,
And,
let's do it
Wolf of
backwards
Wall
while stoned
Street.
and tripping.
The boobs one, is that why you're saying that?
No, I just thought she was a good actress.
Is that where she showed her boobs, though?
I do not recall.
I think it is. Because that was like her first movie, really. Her first big role.
Got to make a splash.
Mm-hmm.
You're the one who remembered that, not me.
That's true.
And I'll just mention this because it's on my list. Paul Valamides is 32. He is the intern who would update our birthday list. And
I remember him.
Yeah.
Great dude. I believe he might have been the nephew of my assistant principal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. That's a completely useless
Not
note.
interesting at all. Nope.
Really did nothing to advance
It
the
is
conversation.
random, though.
That's all right.
Possibly even
it
made
is
it
random,
regress.
and I support that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Could have
Thanks,
stopped
man.
down the momentum of the whole show, really, now you think about it. Born on this day now dead, Thurgood Marshall.
The
Former
debates.
Supreme Court Justice.
And Dave Thomas.
Of Wendy's?
Of the Square Burger.
Who founded Wendy's, yeah.
Nice.
That's
What if
Nice,
we made
Mike.
the burger
so good right now.
square? And then it'll stick out over the edges of the bun. And then you could eat those little 4 parts first.
I mean, I told you guys about this on the show, but that is a fascinating story to read about.
Is it really?
Yeah, they found themselves, squarely in third behind the big
No
two.
pun intended.
Yeah. And they needed a bit. And their point was, look, you're not getting as much meat with these other two companies because they're just putting this big-ass bun on it. So that's where we got Where's the Beef?
We already have flame broiled versus
the king.
Fried or whatever.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like so.
I mean, we tried flame broiled.
Yeah.
And we like it.
Yeah, I'm pro Wendy's.
I love it. I don't try not to go, but
It's
I love
second
it.
tier. Second
Wendy's?
tier fast food, yeah.
No.
Although they did just get a berry frosty flavor. They have a new frosty flavor, which I feel like hasn't happened in my whole lifetime. It's
The
only
orange
been,
cream one?
It's only been chocolate frosties. The 99-cent frosties, they now have berry.
They have vanilla.
Yeah, they've always had vanilla.
Have they?
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
think they
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I've
But-
had vanilla.
sure.
Well, then they don't have chocolate. One of them they don't
Julie
have.
doesn't know shit.
I don't know. I've got a kid that likes vanilla and can never get vanilla, so I feel like I know this. I don't know. Check back with me after
Damn.
you try to go and get a vanilla. Tell me how
Okay.
it goes.
I might be getting a Wendy's burger on my way home.
What is a salad night at home?
I don't even care, but probably.
Dead on this day, still dead. Nostradamus died on this day in 1566.
BS.
And you think everything about Nostradamus is BS?
No, I think, well, of course, yes. But I think trying to say birthdays and stuff from the 16th century, it's just, or death days, it's just, there's no way.
I'm kind of with you.
Yeah.
Also died on this day in 1994, Andres Escobar, soccer player.
Yeah, this is a wild one, man.
Says here, murdered because he scored an own goal.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this is like a top 3
Like
weird
Colombia
sports
or
story.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
The cartel didn't take that kind of thing very well at all.
No. It's a great ESPN documentary, or 30 for 30 on that.
Funny?
Hilarious. Knee slapper.
And that was Today in History.
This is really funny. This part is funny. After Escobar's death, his family founded the Andres Escobar Project to help disadvantaged children learn to play football. And I think they started with kick it fucking that way.
Whatever you do.
Whatever you do, don't kick it into your own goal.
You obviously haven't had a child score an own goal yet, because it does
I know,
happen.
but in Colombia,
it does happen, and it's
I've
awkward
seen
as hell.
I've seen
All
it.
the parents look at you, and you're like, sorry.
I've seen it.
I swear I tell them how to play.
But I'm just saying, down
Just
there.
Then you get introduced to the concept of the Colombian necktie.
You get the necktie. We can work on passing in month 2. For now, that way.
Yes, rule number 1.
Yeah.
That way.
Who gets to handle the remarks? Anybody? Nobody? Somebody?
You got to keep it oot.
Yeah, we usually like to get some closing remarks at this time. That's the end of the show. But often people will have their remarks prepared because they've been waiting to be on the show, and you don't care. You don't even care that you're here. You're
Look at him.
You're nonplussed.
Were you talking to me?
That's a perfect cut.
I didn't know that this was going to fall to me today.
I know. We should have prepped with closing remarks. You got anything you want to say? Anything you want to get off your chest?
Review the show, William Pace.
Your ample
anything?
chest?
I would say that this was very good. You guys have a very good thing going here. I like it.
What? You're supposed to say thank you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No,
Yeah.
I didn't know it
Well,
was done.
that's not good enough for you?
No.
Okay, the whole thing sucks, man.
That's what we usually hear.
This sucks.
That's all we need.
That's what we need. How about you, JD?
No.
Oh,
just end of the show right there. I guess Video Man's done for the day. It's good.
Saved by the bell.
Oh, okay.
So are we done?
Yeah, all right.
Adios, mofos.
Adios, mofo.
Very weird seeing Heart Attack Man on camera, but to no surprise, he had a bit to hide his identity. Again, check out the video from that episode. There's plenty to see in that one, from One Tree Hill to William Pace to Heart Attack Man. Well, that's it for this one. Hope you enjoy this weekly wrap-up. 13 days until NCAA 25. Let's hold strong, folks. We'll get there. We'll talk soon.